Hello and welcome into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We're wrapping up our club championships. Tonight we'll have the cup games for Esports Tower in the Rocket League Rumble. And we'll see who comes out on top in our final cup games of the fall as we transition to the winter semester. A lot of teams coming back, like the Barracudas. Had some outside teams like the Quakes and the Landslides as well. So we'll be excited to see who we get a chance to look out and who is the winner of our fall club championship cup games. That, of course, is the big matchup of the night. You saw there, the Octane Cup. We'll have that one last. I'm Michael Fisher, joined by Alex Nakoba Moore to call all of the action. Nakoba, this is sort of the culmination, right? This is everything you've been working for. It's your final chance to say you were the winner of the Breakout, Octane, or I forgot what the Fennec Cup, excuse me. Those are the three cups we play for. This is like the last chance to say this is how you ended the fall on top because you want to end with a W in some way or the other.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing these teams as a final chance to show off their skill, like you mentioned. And it's kind of a mix because the Barracudas, we've seen time and time again. We've seen a few different iterations of them.
Yeah.
But they've honestly, I think they're probably the first team we ever did on Esports Tower. And then meanwhile, the Eagles, who are much newer of a team, we haven't seen as much of them. So I'm really looking forward to see what they can bring out and how the series goes.
Yeah, we had several returning Rumble champions. You said the Barracudas, who have been here the whole time. I mean, I said the very first Rumble we ever did, the Barracudas were dominating, and they're still here.
Yep.
This month, I think almost a year and a half later, different team, but they're still on top. Eagles, also some couple other teams, the Mammoths as well. Again, breakdown is we'll have the Octane Cup, which will end our night. That's the highest two seeds from the group stage last week. Then we'll have the Fennec Cup, and then we will have the Breakout Cup as well, and that will wrap everything up. We started with a handful of teams. Last week we had the Barracudas, Mammoths, Eagles, Swerve, Viper, Gators, Wolves, Quakes, and Landslide. We've narrowed it down to 6, and we'll start with the Breakout Cup. Gators taking on the Quakes. Quakes, an outside team, a high school team, playing together under that Quakes banner, so I'll be curious to see how they gel together. This Gators team had some ups, had some downs here as well. Before we get into our Breakout Cup, we want to remind everybody, let's support your teams, celebrate their successes, be respectful to the other fans, and the mods will remove anyone who violates the chat rules. And as we get ready to hop in, we can throw it over to Doc's Keys of the Game, presented today by Esports Tower. You can score pro advice at esportstower.com, and those are: create mistakes, punish the double commit, don't overstay, and bump your opponents to demo and disrupt. And we've seen a ton of that in the Esports Tower recently. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Cup. And it's time to kick off our Breakout Cup with the Gators taking on the Quakes in what should be a very exciting series. Again, Quakes are a high school team playing under the Esports Tower banner, ready to go up against the Gators who've been practicing hard for this matchup. It'll be a best-of-7 Koba, so fatigue is going to be a very important thing because if you get overtime games, this series starts to go into that 40 to 50-minute range. These players can start to run out of gas, and that Game 7 could just be a huge letdown for one of the squads.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Best of sevens are something we don't see too often, especially if you're just playing online. I mean, you're seeing one game. It's really just grinding out. So having a full series, playing with your team, and just making sure you're staying positive, not if you fall down early, not trying to get down on yourself or your teammates. You have to stay focused, and we'll have to see which of these teams is able to do it better.
And the Gators, one of those up-and-coming teams, recently joining Esports Tower a few months ago, been slowly working their way up. Quakes, an outside high school team, so that coordination is going to be interesting when you have the Gators team who's been together for a month or so working in the Esports Tower versus these kids for the Quakes who you would assume see each other every day, might have solo queue game or duo queue games together. So curious how that dynamic's going to go as we get ready to kick off our first game. And we jump right into it with the Gators in the fitting blue and the Quakes in the orange as it gets cleared down to the orange side.
Yeah, we see them keeping it on that side. We see them making a quick shot on the goal, but it looks like Cammy's going to knock it away. But so far, we see the Gators are definitely starting off pretty strong on the offensive.
See Fiery Minstrel down there. Jamazon ends up taking it, pops it up in the air. And who cares about the gameplay when we get the fantastic Koba beard? I agree. Knew that was something you're trying out, Koba. It looks pretty good, I will say. Kind of want the game to end so I can see it again.
Not quite on the Beartail level, but we're working on it. Meanwhile, though, we finally saw a bit of a side swap where the Quakes were able to push it on the other side, and then immediately the Gators just going to take it right back. Mischief's got a nice pass, but once again, Cammy's just kind of playing goalie right now, really denying all these shots the Gators can take.
Looked like we had a triple commit there from the Quakes, but they ended up getting back in time, and now Cammy can finally start to get some pressure going as the ball gets to the blue side, but Fiery Minstrel's going to pop it up in the air, look to clear it down to that corner. Ends up going for the boost instead of the ball, however, so quick possession, but a miss by the goalie. Ooh. And the crossbar makes a clutch save.
Yeah, it was a nice attempt by Mischief to go for that double tap, but he just wasn't quite able to find the angle. So it looks like the Quakes are going to get a bit of a clear here, give them a little bit of space. Want to see if they can keep it on this side of the field. You see him really playing it over into that corner. We'll have to see if Jamazon's able to kind of keep it on this side. Mischief looks for the clear, but oh, okay, yep. There's Cammy in front of the goal as always.
Ooh, we get a nice kind of ricochet there for the Quakes. Pink Boy Blue has it in front, not quite able to find anything though. Cammy now looking to pass it over to Jamazon, ends up just lobbing it on net. Mish just able to make the save. We see the demo in front of the goal. Chance here for the Quakes in a 3-on-2, but they all ended up retreating and possession got handed over to the Gators.
Yeah, we see Altac just kind of waiting for a little bit here. Jamazon,
ooh,
nice shot, knocking it in from the midfield.
It's a great little angle here. Pops off the wall. It's just right off the crossbar. Any more right, that would have missed. See if Gators can respond.
Yeah, it was impressive, even jumping over Altac in the start of that as well. Really knock it in, but we're about halfway into this game with a 1-0 lead. Keeping it fairly close in this first game of the best of 7.
Mischief just going to lob it down here. Nothing too crazy for either squad as a redirect on net gets turned away by Jamazon. The Quakes, as you had mentioned, Koa, doing a great job of having somebody always in that kind of goalie spot. Is the crossbar that time plays goalie and denies Altac's shot right at the top.
Yeah, just kind of went above and over. Wasn't quite able to find that connection as finally we see the Quakes on the offensive for just a moment until the Gators fire right back. Be interested to see what kind of side control stats the Gators have because they're just staying offensive this entire game. I feel like there's only been like 2 real moments where the ball's been on their side and I've had to feel a little bit worried about it being scolded, but so far this game's entirely been the Gators' control. Excuse me, the Quakes' control.
See if the Gators, who have some good possession, they get a huge demo. Somebody just has to knock it in, but Jamazon makes a fantastic save. Thought that was an easy goal for the Gators after the demo. They'll try one more time here, but they're not able to find it, and now they can start to clear it up the field with Cammy, and maybe the Quakes can add to that lead in the final 90 seconds as Jamazon does just that.
There it is. We saw a nice pass from Cammy going over to Jamazon, really able to knock it up. Cammy was just playing out of that corner, was just able to knock it in. See, oh no, actually Cammy didn't even get a hand on it. It was all Jamazon, excuse me.
Jamazon has a couple of pretty nifty little goals using the crossbar, which a lot of players have struggled to use to their advantage, using it to their advantage to score both those. Put the Quakes up too, but there's still plenty of time left. 90 seconds here. Fiery Minstrel looking to maybe get one back. That shot a bit wide. Going to play the rebound.
There it is.
Fiery Minstrel gets the goal. Just a great job of sticking with your ball, even when it looked like the Quakes maybe had possession.
Yeah, I mean, the Quakes just weren't really able to control that ball. They got the first block, but they didn't really do anything with it. And they just kind of kept the ball dead in the air, and Fiery Minstrel was able to take that second shot and hit it home and make it a one-point game.
Ooh, Cammy, what a steal there. Looking for a pass. Never want to pass it in front of your own net, Koba, because things like this can happen if you don't rotate fast enough.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else even touched the ball. Cammy just hit it in the kickoff and was able to find the connection after the bounce.
Some kickoffs for these teams have been pretty strong. I thought maybe one of the members of the Gators got in the corner, but then that replay, I think you were right. It looked like just a great kickoff by Cammy, building this lead. Again, 30 seconds a goal, usually a pretty solid pace to have, so a comeback would be possible until Cammy looks to slam that door shut.
Yeah, that might be the nail in the coffin, but we'll have to see. It's really great play around the corner, able to get past Altac, and then Fiery Minstrel not quite finding the right angle. Isn't going to be able to block that.
Gators need a kickoff goal here to stay in this game number 1 of this best-of-7 breakout cup here. So we wrap up our Fall Club Championships for Rocket League. Got a couple of great games left on the schedule as well. As Mischief shot gets turned away, Fiery Minstrel's going to pop it high up in the air. Cammy will just not be able to get to it, and that'll be cleared away, and the Quakes lead should look to be pretty solid here in the final 40 seconds.
Yeah, I think at this point the Gators really need to be focusing on just ending on a success for this game 1. Just go in with strong momentum so they can really come back in game 2 and have a solid performance there. Because like we said, this is a best of 7. This is going to be a long series. They're going to be here half the night playing Rocket League.
See what the Gators can do is, yeah, I'm right there with you now. You want to end on a good note, and Mischief at least makes a nice save, but can you turn this into offense? Because they've had a lot of side control, but I've not found the back of the net, and looks like the game will start to end here. Final 10 seconds. Quakes want to add one more to the total. Cammy just misses. Ball rolls past Pink Boy Blue. Great chance here for the Quakes. Again, yeah, we get to be. I'm glad no one keeps it up because we get to see the Koba beard here in just a little bit. And first, just a reminder, going at it alone only gets you so far. If you want to increase your chances of success, you got to level up your teaming skills. We see that with the Quakes. Again, outside high school team, got to assume they've been playing together for a while, and they took control there in game 1 with a 4-1 win. Esports Tower, though, they take time to create with teams of well-matched teammates. I would not be shocked if the Gators come back in this series. Do not let that first game scoreline fool you. Give a shout-out to all of the coaches. If you're watching, haven't checked out Esports Tower clubs yet, you should. It's a fast track to rank up because, I mean, you look at the stats here, and outside of shots, boost used and even side control dominant for the Gators. They just couldn't find the shots. So easily, I think, a way for them to come back in this game. They had 60% of the side control. They should have had more shots on net, you think? Yeah,
you definitely think they'd be able to really find those connections and just really keep possession and really be able to find it, but they just were struggling to make those. We had a really good defense from the Quakes. We saw Cammy almost living in that net for a while, just denying everything. And there was a few that might have been able to count as a shots, but the game didn't quite count it, so that might be skewing that stat a little bit, but I'm interested to see how this goes for the rest of the games.
Yeah, Rocket League is very fickle in what counts as a shot, what doesn't count as a shot. I mean, you look at the medals there, at least for the shots that counted. Cammy had a bunch of them, as we see the glorious Koba beard there starting to come in. And so now, I mean, now that you're the bearded man of wisdom, right? I mean, that's kind of the thing. So what do you think the Gators need to do? Because, again, looking at those stats, you would think you have all the side control. The boost is pretty even, as you said. Shots probably a little closer than our graph said because you never know what counts. What do they need to do to fix that scoreline? Because that 4-1 scoreline, it looks like a blowout.
Yeah, I think one of the big things they need to work on is just playing together a little bit more, so that can either be going through for passes to really get past some of these defenders, or maybe even like just having one player look for the demo on the defender, try and just take Cammy out so they've got a clear shot on the goal. It's really just want to see them work together and focus on being able to do that next step of getting the ball into that goal.
Well, let's hop into game 2, see if the Gators can use Koba's bearded wisdom to their advantage, or if the Quakes will put an end to that and maybe suggest Koba goes back to the clean-shaven look. We'll have to find out as the Gators kick things off once again. Ball on the orange side where it's been a majority of the time last game, but another couple of whiffed opportunities, and this time the Quakes get the quick and early clear.
Yeah, we see Pink Boy pushing it off onto the blue side, able to knock it up, but Altac's going to kind of take it in the air, push it back on the Quake side. Meanwhile, we see, no, actually, Altac's able to, no, not quite able to continue going in. We got a nice shot, actually, taking it near the goal.
Okay.
But it looks like pinch is going to happen. It's going to go back over there on the orange side.
That blue favored pinch, as you said. Fiery Minstrel will look to center it up. Did sneak it past one, and now Pink Boy Blue will clear it away. Missed the follow-up, but Jamazon's right there. Had so many great early goals. I think Cammy committed as well. If the Gators can get this ball on a breakaway, the net was wide open, but a great job by the Quakes. All getting back in time, not allowing that easy free goal.
Yeah, we see Mischief in the air up here, but it's not quite able to have the height. It's just a little bit too low, and it leaves the other side wide open for Jamazon to just get an easy goal in for the first point.
About it all the time at Doc's Keys, you got to punish the overstay. And that is exactly what they did there. Thought maybe the Gators could do it, but it ends up being the Quakes. 1-0 Quakes, even Fiery Mitchell giving a shout out there. Let him know that that was a nice shot. We'll see what Cammy and company can do. Great win for Cammy off the kickoff. Leaves it for a teammate. Jamazon's going to rip the shot. Oh. And the Quakes have a big 2-0 lead early on.
Yeah, bringing it back right off the kickoff. Just able to get a nice touch. Gets the demolition. It looks like Altac focused on the demo a little bit too much and just wasn't able to play for the ball. And so it left Jamazon for just a clean goal right afterwards. Actually, it looks like we saw a disconnection.
Yeah, looks like Pink Boy Blue did lose connection, so the Quakes will have to play in a 2-on-3 for hopefully a short amount of time. Hopefully Pink Boy Blue will be able to get back, but can you defend in a 2-on-3 is a big question here, as the Quakes had all of the momentum in this game, and this might start to come away as Altac's shot is turned away by the crossbar. Now Cammy can look to push it upfield, gonna have to do it solo. Got Jamazon to their left, but they gotta make sure somebody's back to retreat. You cannot allow an open goal because you're pushing forward with two.
Yeah, definitely want to make sure you're focusing, and looks like here they're able to punish it, and Altac's just able to cleanly go across the field. We see him take it from that his own back corner up in the air, makes it past Jamazon, just gets a nice goal. So it's only 1-point game.
And that's the tricky thing about when you're playing down a man, is adapting, because you can't be as aggressive on offense as you would potentially want to be, because when you both push forward, there's no third man back that maybe the Quakes were used to having, as Altac's going to center that one up for Fiery Mitchell, but Cammy's right there in front of the net. So again, hopefully Pink Boy Blue can come back. Quakes being tested here in a 2-on-3. We'll see how aggressive they want to get. They're still both pushing forward, but this time Jamazon hangs back enough. He'll get back in time.
Yeah, they're definitely both making their way back to the goal as fast as they can. Cam is able to get a nice touch, or at least prevent the shot. But it's definitely going to be a challenge without Pink Boy Blue there. We'll have to see what they're really able to accomplish. They might just be stalling for time, trying to see if they can hold on to this lead. But actually, Cammy's making downfield.
Cammy ends up just outplaying all three members of the Gators. Get a great look at it. Fiery kind of goes over it. I think ends up bumping into a teammate on the way down, and Cammy takes advantage. Nice little goal there in a 1-on-3, Koba, to give yourself a buffer, because again, you're still down a man for the foreseeable future until Pink Boy Blue can come back.
Yeah, that was just really well played by Cammy. Just able to make it past all three defenders, but still 2.5 minutes left in this clock for the Gators to kind of try and bring this back. Saw a team bump right there if those two Gators run into each other, and so definitely want to see a little more teamwork coming out from this blue team.
Cammy looking to take possession of this ball, can't quite find it, and that is going to leave the goal wide open for Mischief, and the Gators sneak back within one.
Yeah, it was just well played. They're able to get past Cammy, and Jamazon just went a little bit too far down the field, and so Mischief was able to get a nice touch, and look at that goal animation. I haven't seen that one. That was pretty clean.
I love whenever I don't play Rocket League as much as these kids do. It's
hard to.
It really is. So I love knowing, like, if I miss a battle pass because I take a couple weeks off, I know when a new one comes out because all the goal scoring animations change. I'm like, that has to be one that either just got released in the shop or it's in the battle pass. That's the easiest way for me to know there's a new Rocket League season sometimes. As we see, Cammy might score another one, but ooh, Fiery makes a great stop. Jamazon pops it up in the air, but again, you got to be careful. You don't have that third member back, so they'll just both smartly retreat.
Yeah, I like a little fake trying to get Mischief the ball, but Cam is just able to outplay with the aggressiveness. And even though they're 2 versus 3, they're still almost playing on the other team's field. Really just playing aggressive and just trying to keep the ball as far away from their net as possible. So you see Cammy hits it over here, but now we see them both a bit too far away from the goal. And Mischief might have an opportunity, and he's going to miss, and Mischief gets the goal.
Thought for sure Jamazon had read that right. You see he immediately realized that I got to get back just behind the ball.
So close.
Now
tied up. 90 seconds left at 3-3.
You got to favor the team with more players at this point. But Cammy has put a couple of goals in net, or at least one. Almost had a second in a 2-on-3. So potentially a chance here for the Quakes to go up 2-0 in this series. Best of 7, our breakout cup is All-Tac. Air dribbles at the field, loses it right in front of the net, and Jamazon with the easy clear. Now Fiery takes a shot, bounces off the crossbar, follow-up from All-Tac. Goes wide of the net.
Yeah, you see the Gators just coming out swinging with multiple shots right after this last kickoff. Fiery's just going to kick it back into that corner and keep on the offensive. We'll see if Cam is able to get the clear, but no, looks like not going to get too big a sack. And All-Tac might have a shot here, and ooh, he gets it in. A nice tap from the Gators, and just really able to swing that in.
Cammy loses it. You saw Jamazon was trying to go downfield, and the punish in the 3v2 works out for the Gators. And we'll see if the Quakes are able to score, if the Gators can kind of steal one, and that felt like the dagger there. A miss on the kickoff, Mischief with the hat trick, and a 2-goal lead in the final 40 seconds.
Yeah, that one hurts. Just missing on the opening kickoff. Able to just knock it straight in. It's going to be a challenge to come back from 2 goals at this point.
Now, the interesting thing here for the Quakes is their duos skill kind of would have to be the one they have to rely on in this game. And it felt like at times they're like, oh, we'll just do this kickoff strategy we practice, but oh, we practice with the trio. That goal will miss just wide. All-Tac on a wide open net will hit it into the crossbar once again. And hopefully Pink Boy Blue able to connect for the rest of this series. But it looks like the Gators will steal this game away thanks to that disconnection.
It's a nice save from Jamazon there, but yeah, I think you're right. Looks like we're going into Game 3 at a 1-1 scenario. Oh, it looks like Pink Boy
no.
right back at the end. Able to get another touch on the ball, but with only 8 seconds left, I don't know it's going to be enough.
Always unfortunate when you're finally able to get back in the match and you get in and you see the score and you're like, oh, I was gone for that long, as we see the stats here. And some of those stats a little bit more influenced by the lack of a third player for the Quakes. But again, I think the Gators did a great job. They kept it close-ish when it was a 3-on-3. They took advantage because, again, sometimes the open goal is the easiest one, the hardest one to hit in Rocket League Cup. Because like, oh, no one's around. I just bumped this in. So it's not a foregone conclusion the Gators are going to win. We've seen teams win a 2-on-3, so they took advantage and they played it well.
Yeah, and actually the most impressive thing there was we saw the Quakes used more boost than the Gators. In a 2v3, that's impressive. It means they're getting a lot of speed. They're really able to attack both sides of the field. And so once they get Pink Boy back in this next game, hopefully, we saw him reconnect. So I'm guessing we'll be able to see him continue out. But we'll see how they're able to make these attacks and see what they really bring back into this third one.
Let's hop into game number 3. It's a 1-1 tie here. Again, hopefully Pink Boy Blue has fixed all the issues as we saw there, as Koba said. Connected right in the final seconds of the game. Too late to help his team out, but hopefully that means everything's stable on his end and we won't have to have any more issues with disconnects. So hopping into the game. Looks like so far Pink Boy Blue taking the kickoff means everything is good to go. And oh, Cammy nearly scores on the kickoff.
That was a close shot. We see All-Tac calling out what a save. He knows, got to hype up his teammate Mischief, who's able to defend that. But what a start coming right back into this game. Reconnecting immediately, just playing offensive, and Cammy's going to get the first connection in.
Cammy has been a monster for the Quakes. I think overall goal leader in this series, had 1 last game, 2 in the first, adds the first one here. And we'll see if Cammy can kind of start to get the Quakes back in this series. Great win on the kickoff. A demo by Pink Boy Blue, who looks to be firing at full cylinders once again. And now it's up to the Gators in a 3-on-3 to show what they've had in game 2. Wasn't just because of the advantage as Fiery Minstrel over in the corner. The pass back to Mischief, but he can't quite win the dunk over Jamison.
Yeah, we see him keeping on the offensive. Altak's going to kind of push it back up, but right to Cammy, actually. He's going to take it over into that corner. Going to pass it over to Pink Boy. Pink Boy's not quite able to take it, and Mischief's going to kind of run it up at the wall, pass it back onto that Quake side.
Altak going to play it off the side wall. Mischief going to pop it up in the air. Jamison will steal that away with a great dunk, but end up kind of landing without any speed. Demo right in midfield. Jamison has to drive past the ball, nearly knocked it into his own side. So he's not quite able to get possession. Altak with the back pass over to Fiery Minstrel, but a nice intercept by Cammy.
Yeah, we see him knocking it up in the air here. We'll have to see if Mischief's able to actually make some progress, because we're kind of just staying down the center of the field. And with neither side able to take control, we see Fiery Minstrel is going to push it across over to Jamison, but Pink Boy got a demolition on Mischief. Might be an opportunity for the Quakes to really get some control in this game.
Mischief centers it up, but Cammy gets the easy steal. Cammy now in the corner has Pink Boy Blue, but couldn't quite convert on the pass. Altak gets the clear. Would have been a great opportunity for the Quakes to build this lead.
Yeah, those are nice attempts, but just didn't quite work out. As we see everyone going in the air, but not much movement from the ball. As Cammy's able to get a nice shot, but Altak's going to hit it away into the corner. Jamison's going to kind of keep it on that side. Cammy's up for it, but Fiery Minstrel gets the defensive position, is able to push it away.
Altak, Fiery Minstrel, now Mischief all get a nose on the ball, but none of them are able to clear it to the orange side. As Cammy can't quite convert there. Jamison has the ball, bounce awkwardly off in right in front of the net, but Fiery Minstrel can't convert again. Open goal, sometimes the hardest one to hit in Rocket League.
Oh, it was so close. Almost got an own goal right there. Just bounced off the back of him, but was a little lucky in that situation not to have gotten it. But oh well, we're keeping it 1-0 for the Quakes with only 2.5 minutes left. See Fiery Minstrel to get a nice shot down onto it, but not able to find any connections as the ball rolls over to Pink Boy Blue. Is going to hit it back over to Fiery Minstrel, who's going to kind of take it up the wall here, up and over the net.
Fiery Minstrel with the pass over to Mischief. Jamison's going to miss on it. Not quite able to convert. Nice body blocking on Cammy as Altak goes over them. 2 minutes left in game number 3 of this best-of-7 series. Tied at 1 aside. Quakes trying to hold on to their slim lead as Fiery Minstrel's going to chip one off the side wall. But Cammy going to stop that one as Fiery Minstrel and Mischief both double commit to clear the ball across the field.
Yeah, we see Jamison hitting it back across. Might finally get some attacks. And Cammy just finds the opening, is going to hit it past 2 of the Gators and just knock one right in.
Cammy with a fantastic goal. Just rips it over 2 members of the Gators. And again, Cammy is, I don't want to say single-handedly put the Quakes in a position to be up in this series, but it's definitely provided a majority of the scoring as they win the kickoff and get the demo. They're really just a double threat at Koba.
Yeah, Cammy can kind of do it all. Looking for the double tap right there, but Altak's there to play defense, able to push it back. And even look for a potential play here as they're going to take it up the wall, but it looks like they're not able to find anything past that as Amazon. No, not quite going to make the connection, but actually Fiery Minstrel fires it back onto their side.
Mischief gets a touch on it. Cammy now looking for another goal. That one gets turned away. Altak going to pop it up in the air. Nice little aerial dribble, but it just hits off the crossbar. Second one in the crossbar. Finally, Firegear gets the third.
Yeah, that was well played for the Gators. Just really able, all 3 of them on the same page, and just able to keep this pressure going. We saw Mischief miss. We saw Fiery Minstrel make the goal and really bring it back and find that connection there.
Gators closing that gap, keeping it close. Kickoff gets tied up. Ball gets popped up in the air. Altak and Fiery Minstrel going to end up colliding. And we'll see Pink Boy Blue with the miss. This could be an opening for the Gators potentially here, but Jamison just clears it back.
Yeah, just going to kind of keep it close. They're back, really just playing off each other. You definitely see a lot of these players bumping into each other, seeing just some kind of Mr. X going off, but we see Pink Boy Blue is able to clear it over back onto their own side, actually, but it looks like they're going to push it back onto the Gators, pop it up in that top left corner. So we see Fiery Minstrel going to looking to jump up, but no, it looks like Cammy is able to find the connection first, and Altak's going to push it back onto the Quake side.
Mischief going for it, can't quite get it, ends up, another awkward triple commit there, but it might work out. Cammy though with the solid clear. Gators members just bunching up a little bit too much there. All three of them in the same spot. 8 seconds left, looking for overtime here. One last chance. And we'll see if Mischief can keep this ball in the air. That's the only way they're going to score it. But a great clear by Cammy. Ball will touch the ground, and the Quakes move up 2-1 in this series. They're halfway home, and you see the stats even out a little bit, and the Quakes start to take over in this series now with all three members back on the field.
Yeah, it definitely helps having Pink Boy Blue back in that lineup, but it was still a fairly close game, only 1 point difference. But we really just have to talk about Cammy and just how well they played in that game. They're able to find the demolitions, the shots, the goals, and we're really just able to take control and dominate that entire game.
Yeah, I think the one thing we're going to have to watch out for in the Gators in terms of a comeback is the coaches say they've been practicing their rotations, their field position, calling to help one another to hit consistent mechanics that will score goals more routinely, and they're just kind of bunching up. They need to go back to that practice. They need to spread out. I mean, we saw there with like 13 seconds left. If you could see all three members on the same center of your screen, you're not in the right position. So they just got to spread out, get back to those practices, get back to those. You can start to panic, but you can't all triple commit on every single ball.
Yeah, definitely. We'd like to see them play just a little bit cleaner, play a little bit better together, a little more coordinated. And like you said, not together doesn't mean right next to each other, but you have to have working on your plan, just really able to pass to each other. And as we hop into this next game, we see Fire Minstrel able to get a nice kickoff and really able to get a nice shot, but Cammy just barely makes it in time. Is going to prevent that opening goal.
Gators looking to get back in this series. Quakes could put themselves on match point if they win this game number 4 of the Breakout Cup here for our club championship. This is Altac going to drive up the wall, corral that one. That's an open goal, and the Gators, for the first time this series, strike first.
Yeah, what a shot. Just really able to take it up the wall by himself, and looks like Jamazon just jumped up a little too early and didn't have the boost, and was just Altac was able to play out everyone.
See what Cammy and company can do. Well, we know what Cammy can do. It's what can Jamazon and Pink Boy Blue do to help the Quakes get back in this one. They win a great kickoff. Altac just clears it away from Cammy. Starting to play a bit of keep away there. The Gators realize who the power player is. Another double commit, though. We talked about playing together doesn't mean you need to be linked up with each other.
Yeah, and once again, right there, we saw another one from Altac and Mischief. They're both just kind of looking for the same things, but it almost worked for Mischief, but Pink Boy Blue was able to get the goal blocked right there. We see the Altac's going to take in possession, but actually Jamazon's going to take it back and take it up above the goalpost. Might be able to play off that, but no, it looks like just Cammy wasn't quite in the right position for it.
Mischief with a lob down. Looking for maybe a play here. You get a double commit from the Quakes. There's a wide open net, but Fiery Minstrel just barely missed on that ball. And Altac gets it stolen away by Jamazon. Pass over to Cammy. Takes a shot. Fiery Minstrel lobs one down. Pink Boy Blue almost directs it on net. Great rebound chance here for Fiery. And it bounces in on the third try.
Yeah, the Quakes were in the right position the whole time. They just didn't quite get the connections on the ball they wanted to. We saw them get the hit defense, but Pink Boy just wasn't able to defend that, and that was a great job and well done by the Gators. See them going once again for this kickoff. It's going to keep it fairly centered. No more kickoff early goals. That goes off over to the Gators side. We see Pink Boy Blue going to hit it up, and Jamazon's going to go for it, but Altac's in control and might be able to get this cleared and push it back onto that Quake side.
Yeah, that's a great clear. Cammy will lob it back, and again, Cammy's kind of been the hero for the Quakes. They need a hero play right now with this game starting to pull away. Now Altac has a chance to make it 3-0, but can't quite convert on the back of the net. Fiery Minstrel at least keeps it out of Jamazon's hands as Pink Boy Blue can't quite get the touch. Altac lobs it on net, but what?
Where'd that come from?
All right, I got to see this replay. I have to know what happened. Does he just... Wow, I think he pre-jumped the clear. Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
Played off his own wall bounce and just wasn't quite blocked correctly, and we saw Altac really leading the charge in this third game.
Altac coming alive. That's what you need if you're the Gators. You're down 2-1 in this series. You don't want to go up against match points. Oh, that one nearly goes in. Huge clear from Pink Boy Blue to start to relieve this pressure, but we're halfway through, and The Quakes haven't managed a single shot. Finally, that one from Pink Boy Blue, their first credited shot all game.
Yeah, right now the Gators are looking more dominant than they did in the 3 versus 2 game. They're really just clicking. They've really found their stride, and they're playing really well. We see them even right now. They're able to control the ball a little bit, but it looks like we'll see Cammy bounce it off. Not really a shot on goal there, but gets a demo on Mischief, though, so might be able to look for an opportunity here as Altac's going to go for another one.
Oh, no.
Just off center. Not quite able to find it.
I'll take the blame on that one. I thought it was going in. Even called that was a great shot, and then it hits off the crossbar as Cammy looks to get the Quakes one more goal, and will do it. So keep the Quakes alive. Now it's a 3-1 game.
Yeah, that was one of those ones that was just playing up in the air. Really could have gone either way, but Cammy just was able to find the connection, find the perfect path, and just knocks it right in.
Part of me is split, Koba. Is it let Cammy do their thing, or is it do you need Jamazon and Pink Boy Blue to step up? Is that one unfortunately gets own goal there? Mischief will get credit.
Yeah, we just kind of saw the goal left wide open after that kickoff, and unfortunately just bad bounce for the Quakes. But a great bounce for the Gators.
Jamazon tried to pop it up so it hit off the crossbar, couldn't quite get it high enough, and Gators now with a 4-1 lead. But off the kickoff, Jamazon gets 2 off the side wall. That looked like a great way to get a goal back. And now the Gators almost go coast to coast for the comeback goal.
Yeah, it was pretty close. They're really just staying offensive. And with only 90 seconds left, it's going to be a real challenge for the Quakes to bring this back. It's going to take all 3 of their players working well together. Cammy can't get 3 goals alone. Going to need some teamwork, and really like to see them play off together, get some passes, and go for some more of these demos, because we've seen them really just destroying some of these Gator players, just really able to get themselves control and just bumping into them.
Well, as you talk about demos, there's one right there for Cammy. See if they can turn it into a goal. They're starting to run out of time as the respawn will come through, so that demo can't result in much. 1 minute left here. Cammy gets a shot, but nothing more. Now Mischief one-on-one, just going to shoot it right at Pink Boy Blue, but he was ready for it, and he'll turn it away.
I almost thought Mischief would be able to look for a second shot there, but wasn't quite able to find the angle. This ball's going to stay on the Gator side. You see Cammy going for it. He's going to pop it up for Pink Boy Blue, but wasn't quite able to answer it. Missed jump from Fire Minstrel, but they're able to push it back onto that Quake side with only 30 seconds left. We need something really quick for the Quakes if they're going to have a chance here.
Unfortunately, we're going to get something for the Gators instead. Altac's going to pick up the hat trick, and that will start the pretty much seal game number 4 here. So we have a 2-2 series.
Yeah, I mean, Altac's really just been playing out of his mind in this game. He's doing so well and really able to find those connections, find those shots, and a lot of these plays he's setting up himself. He's passing it off the wall to himself and really able to just find a way through that Quake defense.
Mischief can't quite get it, but with 15 seconds left, the Gators all but assured of victory here. Don't think there's really a way for them to come back. They'll get their frustrations out in a demo. But I mean, I think the point you made about halfway through this game is looming large, Kobe. I mean, this is the almost hardware. This is better than the Gators looked in that 3v2, and I think that's a huge confidence booster, because that series, as it started to say, maybe the Gators just in a 3v3 can't quite match up, but I mean, they took over the series and no one disconnected. I think this goes a long way to helping their confidence out for the rest of the series that has basically become a best-of-3 here.
Yeah, I mean, we can just see it right here. Total shots, they had 70% of the shots in that game. They were just in way more control, way more dominant, and really looking well going into this 5th game.
Reminder that going at it alone can only get you so far. If you want to increase your chance of success, you got to level up your teaming skills. We saw that with the Gators. Struggled in game 1, game 3, but came together as a squad. They worked on those rotations they've been practicing, and we can see how far they've come. Again, Esports Tower takes time to create well-matched teammates. Give a shout-out to all the coaches. If you're watching, you haven't checked out Esports Tower clubs yet, you should. It's a fast track to rank up. Saw Bearcat Baller there in the chat saying hello. You just missed a great game, Bearcat, but we've got potentially 3 more left here, Koba. And now that we're down to, again, it's basically a best-of-3. It's a 2-2 series and a best-of-7. Do you have a lean between one of these two teams after that game or after the whole series?
feel like I'm leaning a little bit towards the Quakes, but we'll have to see what Doc thinks we should do in this case, because Doc's got some advice for these players.
Doc's got some advice. If you want to wrap up this series, call yourself breakout cup champions of our club championship. They got to create mistakes, punish the double commit, which is we've seen it quite a bit of. Don't overstay, which we've had happen a couple times as well, and the bumping to disrupt the opponents. The demos have been huge, as you mentioned, Kobe. The Quakes kind of the ones taking initiative on that one. Doc sees the game, brought to us by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You can match with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Let's hop into game number 5 here. See who comes out on top. Somebody is going to make it to match point when this game ends. The question is, who is it going to be? You see somebody there saying the Gators are staying in it, thinks it's going to be a close game. Well, off the kickoff, Altac. We talked a lot about Cammy. Altac's had an insane last 2 games.
Yeah, Altac's just doing so well, just able to find it off the wall from that kickoff, and just it's an open goal right at the start.
Altac versus Cammy, kind of getting the showdown. We'll see here which star player can will their team to a victory. There's Cammy on the kickoff with the clean win. One touch, looking to maybe air dribble it in, but great save by Altac of all people.
Yeah, this is almost turning on to a Altac-Cammy matchup. We'll have to see who's able to really perform better, but so far, recently it's looking towards Altac. He's really found his groove, really able to even play it right here, just able to find the offense. Gonna hit it back a little bit. This Pink Boy is gonna get some control. Looks like we're actually gonna miss, and Fiery's gonna look for a shot, but not quite on there, and Jamazon's gonna knock it back onto that Gator side.
Ooh, nice touch from Mischief. Altac now. Couldn't quite get the ball around Pink Boy Blue, so Fiery Minstrel over in the corner looking to lob it down. Jamazon. Mischief is there, though. Huge shot, but Cammy simply redirect that one. Did get a double commit in the goal. You saw both members of the Quakes go flying, and that nearly punished them, but there was no follow-up for the Gators.
Yeah, we've definitely been seeing a bit of those. Like to see that a little bit cleaned up, but at this point, we're in Game 5. These players are getting a little bit tired. It's a long day. And this still requires 2 more wins before we get that victory. So they need to, you know, take a deep breath. It's a long day. Set themselves into it. As we see Cammy kind of taking it off the corner. We see Altac making a shot over here, but not quite going to find the angle.
Yeah, fatigue, one of those things we talked about. These cup games a little bit longer than the group stage games that are just best of 3. So you got to make sure you pace yourself. As Altac can't quite get to that one. Cammy gonna get one touch on it, drop it right under Fiery Minstrel, but there was no follow-up, so Altac can lob it down. Jamazon misses the rebound, but Altac's shot goes high off the crossbar. And the Gators aren't able to find another goal.
Yeah, find another demo from Cammy while controlling the ball. Very impressive play. Able to find those connections. Just gonna take it up into the corner here. Kind of stall it out a little bit, but we'll see all of the Gators there ready to defend, playing pretty close together, but Altac's finally going to get that clear, push it back, and actually Pink Boy Blue is going to bounce it back. Have to see if they're able to play for something here, but it's going to fire up the air, and Cammy's going to look for something, but not able to hold on. Fiery Minstrel gets a shot there.
Nice save by Jamazon. Pink Boy Blue's going to lob it down. Fiery Minstrel will pop it up in the air. Altac not able to get there in time as Pink Boy Blue can't quite get the clear. Another chance here, but Cammy with the steal. Mischief, though, chilling back. Going to be able to hopefully clear this one away, as a nice steal from Jamazon might mean other things, but doesn't look like the Quakes have anyone else in rotation to make that ball score.
I think this is the first time we've gotten to this point without any goals. Oh, wait, no, Gators have a goal.
We got a goal like right 3 seconds in, yeah, and we haven't gotten one since. It honestly feels like it's been a 0-0 game outside that one kickoff, as Altac has a chance to extend the lead.
Cammy's there.
Cammy makes a great save, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, if this keeps this pace, Gators are looking on to take this 3rd game then. I feel like they've been a little bit in more control of this game as well. Altac really just looking for a few different shots. We might have an opportunity from the Quakes here, so they're going to push it up into that side. See if Jamazon's, no, not quite going to find the bounce, but Cammy's actually coming in. Oh. He's able to hit it right in.
I don't know, I mean, I'm sure Cammy will say that this was intended, but they follow it in, they line themselves up, so the clear from Fiery Minstrel runs right into their car. And we've got ourselves a 1-1 game here, Koba, with 90 seconds left, and a winner has a huge advantage in Game 5 because they're on match point.
Yeah, this turned out to be an incredible series, as both these teams are really neck and neck. So we see them bouncing it off onto the Gator side. We'll see Altec's going to take control of it. Really going to pass it over to Fiery Minstrel, but Cammy's going to steal it back. Might be able to look to ride up past someone, but gets a few bumps in that goal. So far, keeping it pretty close.
Mischief clearing it down. Cammy can't quite get it out of the orange end. Now Pink Boy Blue has a chance, has Cammy right in front, but the pass just wasn't in perfect placement, so Cammy couldn't get there in time, and it's cleared away. And now with under a minute left, we'll see who, if anyone, can go up, or if we're heading to overtime here in Game 5.
Yeah, we're definitely running out of time. We see a nice little bounce from Mischief, but Cammy's there to block, and Fire Minstrel's going to keep it onto the Quake side. They're just not really able to find any of these shots or any holes in the defense from the Quakes. They've just really been able to kind of hold things up and not give them any openings.
30 seconds left here. All-Tac and company in a great position to score. Ball's right in front of the net. Cammy will clear it away and settle in that goalie position as Fire Minstrel tries to sneak it past. Cammy, one more clear, but the ball's not out of harm's way yet. All-Tac and Mischief both take a shot. And now maybe the Quakes can score a last-second goal. Pink Boy Blue gets around one, but it's stopped. And Fire Minstrel has one last chance.
Yeah, as we see the clock ticking down here, I think we are going into overtime. And there it is. It's going to touch the ground to bring us here. And we're at the golden goal. Next team to find this connection is going to have the advantage going into it.
Oh, I thought All-Tac had that off the start, but just kind of lobbed it on net. Ball wasn't fast enough to make it past Jamazon. And now the Quakes can start to set up things on their own offensive end, but Cammy, the back pass to no one, going to start to kill that momentum.
Yeah, once again, we see a nice shot from All-Tac, or excuse me, Mischief, but just a little bit too high. Wasn't quite able to find it there as Cammy's going to take control up in the air, but Mischief's able to take it back and really control this and kind of push it back onto that opposite side. Nice clear there coming out. Have to see if All-Tac's going to go up. We'll see Fire Minstrel actually able to not quite make the shot as Mischief's going to take control. Nice shot from Cammy, not quite able to find Jamazon though.
See a couple of close near goal opportunities. I don't know. What do you think looks cooler though? A gator or like an earthquake? Koba, as you see some people saying we should give away some gators. Like, I feel like a quake looks pretty intimidating if you walked up to somebody with like whatever the embodiment of an earthquake is on a t-shirt.
That's a tough question. I mean, I think the gators can be pretty scary. It just depends on how you're stylizing. I mean, are these going to be t-shirts? Are we looking at sweatshirts? I don't know.
So I think it's just how the outline is, but if you look at on our scoreboard, that gator looks like he's smiling. He doesn't look like he's very ferocious, right?
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to see if you say that to All-Tac's face, because he's just been firing all these shots. I don't know.
That's true.
You can say he's just smiling.
I think that's the question in chat. The Quake gear, the Gator gear, which looks more intimidating? And maybe it'll be whoever wins the Breakout Cup, as we have a near goal for the Gators. They could not get much closer than that. All-Tac gonna pop it up. Oh no! Two great chances.
Low shots for All-Tac. Just really not get. Oh, another one. They're right there. They can smell the victory. They know they have it, but they're just not able to find that final connection. As you see a team bump right there as well. As this overtime might be wearing on them.
Overtime. I mean, this is Game 5. You at least have to play a Game 6 no matter who wins this one. As the Quakes now maybe look to turn things around. They had a couple of sort of heart-stopping moments there. And now the Gators maybe look to clear this one up. All-Tac's gonna pop it up. He would be the guy to end it right here. Centers it in front, and Mischief hits it in. And almost 3 minutes into overtime, All-Tac and Mischief combined to put the Gators 5 minutes away from being Breakout Cup champions.
That was just incredibly well played. A great pass to Mischief and just really able to get the victory there. And
wow,
they're only one win away. And like you said, those stats are looking pretty favored for the Gators.
I mean, honestly, those stats, you're right. They look like the Gators are favored, but I got to give a shout out. The Quakes, you managed to play almost an 8-minute game and got outshot 77 to 23%. I mean, hats off to you for staying in a game without generating much offense, but we'll see if the Gators offense can continue to surge through, if their bite is just too much, or if the Quakes can start to rumble back and make it into the Game 7 there.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they really decide to bring out, because we saw a nice early lead from the Quakes in this series, and they've just been struggling in the past few. So we really need to see them just kind of take a minute, take a break, take a deep breath, refocus themselves, and really bring it back in this Game 6.
See if Game 6 goes the Quakes' way and they're able to get us to the winner or go home Game 7, or if the Gators have maybe found something here, and that will be the killer. Now, unfortunately, it does look like Jamazon has disconnected. Looked like I saw the Jamazon disconnected right at the top of the screen. So another game where the Quakes are going to have to play an early 3v2. I agree, that was an insanely close game. Hopefully our Game 6 is just as close, but in a 3-on-2, it's a lot tougher ask for the Quakes.
Yeah, definitely makes things a little difficult. I'll have to see if they're able to reconnect a little bit quicker than Pink Boy Blue was able to earlier, because Pink Boy Blue didn't come back until the very end of the game. So, but on the bright side, Quakes are used to playing 2v3, unfortunately. So they've got a good strategy. We've saw Cammy actually get a goal over all three members of the Gators. We'll have to see if they're able to find some connections here.
Hopefully Jamazon can get back, because you don't want to have the Quakes have to in practice say, all right, play duos so you can practice being in a 2v3 scenario. That's never what you want to have happen. Is Altac rips a shot, but Cammy's right there for the fantastic save. One more chance. Cammy trying to get in position, but there's only so many shots you could save, and Altac gets the first goal of Game 6.
Yeah, that was just well played by the Gators. They're really able to just keep the pressure on. So we see Altex just able to get a nice chip off the back there.
1-0.
Yeah, like you said, 1-0 for the Gators. As we go into this next kickoff, Mischief's going to take that as well. And Pink Boy Blue's going to look to clear it back on the other side, though.
No sign of Jamazon yet, which is an unnerving sign for any Quakes fans here. Any fans of, as we said, maybe give away the gear of the winner. And if you like the Earthquakes scary logos or whatever it is that are about Earthquakes that you might like, doesn't look like they're in a good position to win this. Is double commit there. They both missed on it. Altac maybe looking for the punish, see if he'll be able to find it.
Yeah, we do see a little bit of a clear coming out, but Fire Minstrel is able to redirect it. But there we go. Cammy's finally able to actually push it onto the Gator side. Only had one to beat, but wasn't quite able to get past Mischief. As Cammy might be able to actually take this up the wall and keep the pressure on. He's going to look to might be passing over there.
Uh-oh.
But the goal's wide open. As Fire Minstrel gets one in.
That'll happen, unfortunately. If you double commit on balls, if you're not used to playing in twos, it's always tricky. Jamazon's back, though, and it's only 2-0. So you spot him 2 goals. Not the best case scenario, but definitely not the worst case scenario. And 3 minutes to come back from down 2 goals is no problem at all. Yeah,
this is definitely still winnable for the Quakes. We've seen them score multiple in less amount of time. I mean, I think Game 1 was 4-1. They were able to find just a lot of these connections, and we'll have to see them really play well here.
Oh, nice demo.
Yeah, Cammy's able to find Fire Minstrels. We might have a nice shot. See double commit coming out for the Quakes, and Mischief's gonna further that lead and get that 3rd goal.
Mischief owning up to Doc's keys, punish the double commit. Jamazon and Cammy run into each other, and Mischief just takes the easy goal there. And things starting to get away from the Quakes. Gators and Quakes both at full strength. Game 6 of our Breakout Cup. Gators now 2.5 minutes from being club champions of our Breakout Cup. We'll see, though, if the Quakes have an answer left in them. Koba is, Fire Mitchell just misses, adding to that lead. Yeah, they're going to hit it back over onto the Gator side. Playing up in the air, Cammy's able to hit it up, but Mischief's going to gain control over in this corner. It looks like the Quakes aren't really going to try and pressure too much. We saw a missed attempt right there, but Cammy's finally going to find the ball. Nice shot, not quite on goal, though. Fire Minstrel centers it to Mischief. Jamazon's there, at least. So they're able to make a save. For a moment, forgot that we were back on a 3-on-3, and wow. Altac scores the harder of the 2 shots we just saw. Yeah, that was impressive. Really able to find the inside of the edge of that goal, makes it right past, and I think the Quakes just didn't know how to defend that.
was a well-placed goal.
4-0 here. 2 goals in a 2-on-3. 2 goals at full strength, so it's not you can argue that the Gators' lead is because of that 3-on-2 early on. As Fiery Minstrel now has a chance to really put this game away, but a fantastic save there by the Quakes. We have under 2 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, we really need to see the Quakes playing very quickly here. We need to see them, and that's going to help. Finding a nice demo on Altac there. It's going to go back to Jamzon, but no, actually Fire Minstrel's going to interrupt it and take the ball back onto the Quake side.
See there, I agree. That was a fantastic shot from Altac to score that one. As we see here now, Fiery Minstrel going up, going to lob a shot down. One member misses, but it hits off the top of the crossbar with a follow-up from Altac, gives him the hat trick, and pretty much all but secures this Game 6 in the Breakout Cup for the Gators.
Yeah, just it was well played by Altac, really able to get to the ball first and just hits it nicely in there for the hat trick, like you mentioned. And, yeah, this is not looking too good for the Quakes, unfortunately. It's just been a little plagued with disconnects, and it's really hurting them. Hard to go into the post-game series and talking about it and say what went wrong when it was disconnects was one of the biggest things.
And hopefully everything will be secured up. Love to have the Quakes back. Future Rumbles, but yeah, as you said, big difference in this, the disconnect. So Wilson does point to, you know, working on your rotations, making sure you have a backup plan in case someone does disconnect, and how you can play in a 2-on-3, because unfortunately the fickle thing with esports is we're all basically praying our Wi-Fi never drops.
Yeah, Wi-Fi is pretty key, or even network if you can get into it, but as we see only 15 seconds left. We see Altac might be looking for a 6th shot here. He's going to push it back onto the Quake side, but Jamzon's going to get some control and kind of keep it in there, try and not let him wreck too much. It's Cameo let it back.
Thought we have had him have a 6th goal there, but that looks like time will tick down. The Gators will pick up the win in the Breakout Cup, and that's a great way to end the Fall Rumble season for them. And again, the Quakes, a very strong team. I think if the disconnect issues didn't plague them, this series might have been a different one, but it was very close. And again, I mean, one could argue if you're a Gators fan, they outscored them when they had a 3-on-3 in that final game, so it's hard to say, hey, at least we're past the days of like, hey, Mom, can you get off the phone? Like, I'm trying to game with my friends. You're lagging me. At least we're past those days. Well, a reminder, going at it alone can only get you so far. If you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. We saw that with the Gators. They rallied after an early deficit in the series, came back to dominate the last few games, held on in overtime. You can see how far this team has come since they first joined our Rumbles. The Esports Tower really takes time to create teams of well-matched teammates. Give a shout out to the coaches. If you're watching, haven't checked out Esports Tower clubs yet, you should. It is the fast track to rank up. So congratulations to the Gators. They get the dub, Koba. But again, I think those teams, as you said, no disconnects. That series could have easily gone the distance and had a couple of crazy overtime games as well.
Yeah, definitely. It could have gone either way. We did still see 2 of those victories from the Gators come out in full-on 3v3s, real games. And so those just 2 incredibly close teams, and they're both playing really well. I'd love to see more of them once we get those internet issues fixed.
Well, we will take a break. We come back, we'll have the Fennec Cup. Mammoths and Vipers. Mammoths, one of our returning champions. See if they can end the note on a 3rd place finish in our club championship. We'll find out who comes out on top. Mammoths or Vipers coming up right after this.
NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back into this broadcast of our Esports Tower Rumble, broadcasting it live from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena, continuing in our club championship games, setting up for some fantastic cup games to end the night. We've got the Fennec Cup with the Mammoths and the Vipers. The Mammoths, one of our returning champions, and we'll end the night with our two top teams, the Eagles and the Barracudas, in the Octane Cup. Fish and Greg here calling all of the action. Greg joining us on desk. Crazy first game, pretty back and forth series, and we should only get better from here, Greg. It should be a ton of fun the rest of the night.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Going to pick out that last finalist so we can get into the final championship here.
It's going to be a ton of fun. Before we hop into the Fennec Cup, though, we do want to take a moment. We want to congratulate all of our members of the Esports Tower Club who have graduated from the clubs. They've been offered scholarships across the country. Over the last 3 months, Esports Tower Club members have received over $1.2 million in scholarship awards. These students have not only worked hard on their in-game play, but they've worked hard academically as well, and they have earned these scholarship opportunities. These players that receive these scholarships are talented, hardworking, driven, cannot be more excited and proud to see all of the opportunities that these players are going to be getting and the continued opportunities that Esports Tower players are getting. And again, if that excites you, if any of the games you see, maybe you're thinking of like, well, what is Esports Tower all about? Check it out. Esportstower.com is a ton of fun. Always love to see new faces joining every single week here. Again, 1.3 million over the last month going into that fall semester for college is absolutely insane. Before we hop into our next map, we'll give Doc a chance to give his keys to the game as well. Let the players know what they need to do. Again, third place game here between the Mammoths and the Vipers in our Fennec Cup. Always want to end the fall season on a win. Those are create mistakes, punish the double commit, don't overstay, and then bump your opponents to disrupt or potentially demo. Score Pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Time to get into this week's Fennec Cup with the Mammoths taking on the Vipers. What should be an exciting series here. Both the Mammoths and the Vipers looking to end the season on a high note, because I think, Greg, no matter the game, even if you're not the champion, if you have a chance to play in a third-place game and you can end on a win, that just feels better going into your next event.
It really does. Yep, I could back that one up for sure.
So hopefully one of these teams able to get a win. Hopefully we get a great series between the Mammoths and Vipers, and let's hop into it as the Mammoths and Vipers looking to go at it. Fennec Cup here, third place for our Fall Rumble Cup Club Championships here, and then, of course, we'll end the night with our Octane Cup. The Mammoths roster has been done in a lot of time in the workshop maps, and, I mean, again, it doesn't have to be just Rocket League, Greg, but how do you like to practice for a tournament? Is it going into solo queue? Is it going into an aim labs or a practice pack? Like, how do you like to practice for a tournament like this?
I definitely like to grind the aim labs, but I think scrims is your best call, and especially with Rocket League, if you've got enough friends, 6, then you can make scrims happen just at home.
Yeah, I think you can set up a lot of scenarios. We saw in our last series, they had a player disconnect. Scrims were a great way to say, hey, just hang out in the goal. We want to practice a 2v3 in case something goes wrong. Hopefully, we don't have that happen in this series. We kick it off. Vipers in the blue, Mammoths in the orange. See Hydra off the side wall, looking to set it up, but Potato's going to clear it away, and nearly puts it in on the back of the net. He's there. Oh, that was a great shot for Potato. He had the goalie angle and everything. There was no saving that one, Greg. As we see here, kickoff. Greed gonna look to take a shot. Ender gonna go up for it. And Ender ends up with possession on the other side here as it gets cleared away by one of the members. Another shot from the Mammoths, but this one also going to fall just to the side, and it looks like the Vipers can maybe start this challenge here and make this a game. See here, Not Earth off the side wall. Potato going to take the shot. Ender Crafter looking to play that off the side wall, and it gets turned away here. Potato now off the back, looking for a shot, can't quite find it. Toke is going to clear it up the field. See here now, Not Earth with the miss. Greed, ball goes up in the air. Potato's able to corral it at midfield. Now looking to take a shot. Greed steals it away, though. Vipers looking to pressure them here. Have a great chance. Not Earth should corral it in the corner. Greed off the side wall, but it gets popped up in the air. Another chance here. Got to be careful how you clear this if you're Not Earth. And Greed can't quite convert on the open net as Potato and company cannot find the back of the net, and the Mammoths hold on, but just barely. Another great opportunity here. And it ends up going in the back of the net to tie this game at 1-aside.
Yeah, a rough call there by Not Earth, being pinned against the goal. Kind of had to leave it open.
See Potato taking a shot there. Not Earth gets a great job right in front of the net. Can't quite find it though. Z Hydra going to land on the ball. Potato pops it up in the air. And now has a great chance here. Off the side wall, cleared away. Ender Crafter not able to find the back of the net. And now Toke and company for the Vipers can look to make this a series here. Great, the Vipers keeping some really good pressure. They're starting to get it to pay off, but a huge clear to the other side nearly goes in. Got to make sure you have someone back on defense. And that rotation will cost them.
Even with two people on top of the ball, it goes in.
Sometimes those long clears, you have no idea where they're going, and sometimes it just gets a good rebound.
It's not over till it's over. The game can change that fast.
Exactly. You always got to be prepared. We talk about Doc's keys. You got to make sure you do not overstay, because if you overstay, something like that can happen. And there's that bumping to disrupt. You got a demo in the net. Turned away, though, is Z Hydra. Clears that one. Has a great chance, but a fantastic little save there as the Mammoths hold on to this very, very slim lead. So that could change quickly as Ender Crafter and company make a great save right above the net. They almost turned it into a goal on the other side. Follow-up shot goes off the crossbar. One more attempt. It's right in front. They smartly are going to retreat. They don't want to get caught on the counterattack. And now Ender Crafter will just simply pop it up in the air. Toki going to take the shot. Goes high. One man to beat. It's all up to Greed. Gets a fantastic stop there. Greed now pushing forward. Ball gets played off the side wall. And now the Vipers back in business, looking for a counterattack here, trying to keep the pressure up. It's cleared away. The nets look to be wide open, but off to the side. Greed was there, but a crazy rebound forces Toki to get possession, and he'll clear it down to the blue side where he can play it himself, but Not Earth going to hit it right back. You hear there, 60 seconds left. A demo leads to an open net, and now that's a little bit tougher of a lead to overcome.
Yeah, Not Earth just carries it straight in. Now we're at a 2-1. Mammoths, can you hold it? 3-1.
Can they hold it is the question. 30 seconds, a goal of decent pace, so time for the Vipers here to come back. But it's got to start with some good offensive possessions as Ender Crafter turns that one away. Greed not able to find, never mind. The impossible angle there for Greed. It's back to 3-2. 40 seconds left. Mammoth's defense starting to falter a bit here. As Ender Crafter is going to clear it the length of the field. Gets popped up in the air, rolled around off the side wall. And now Z Hydra can clear it all the way past Potato. 20 seconds left. Mammoth just need to play for time if that's what they want to do. Last chance here potentially for Toki. Gonna center it up. But the ball gets popped up in the air and should be cleared away. And now the Mammoths are gonna have to look for a reset here in the final 10 seconds. Couple of misses. And you hear 8 seconds left, counting down, close there. And that might be the last chance for the Vipers as ball gets cleared down, immediately touches the ground. And the Mammoths hold on for the lead.
A good try for Zydra there, though, pushing for the overtime. That was real close. It got me.
Thought they were going to have it rolled right in front of the net. Again, if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice as well. It's great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. Again, a very close game there. Thought the Mammoths might run away with it, but at the end of the day, Greg, the Vipers fought back, and I mean, as you said, this close, you and I maybe both thought it was going in from going to overtime.
Yeah. But again, it's not over till it's over, and that was a quick switch there in the 3-1 to 3-2, so I really had hope for him, hoping for that last point, a little bit of an overtime push.
Yeah, the Fennec Cup here, Vipers versus Mammoths, fighting for third place. As we talked about, always better to end the season on a win, even if it's not the overall championship. Not having that sour taste in your mouth as you set up for the Winter Rocket League Rumble season that starts next week. See if the Mammoths can continue the pressure. Maybe the Vipers can get back into this series. It is a best of 7, of course, so plenty of game left as we're going to hop into game number 2 here. Between the Vipers and Mammoths, not Earth. Already, as soon as we get into game, scores right off the kickoff. The Mammoths want to make sure they set the tone early.
Yeah, they were not having it with that close call last time.
Did not want to leave this game in doubt at all. Potato, one more chance, looking to build an early lead in the first 15 seconds or so as Greed now carries it up. You see the demo in front of the net there. A chance for the Vipers, but nothing's going to come of it as Not Earth makes a fantastic little solo play. Sneaks it around one, sneaks it around a second one. And now Not Earth gets the steal as well, basically doing everything but scoring a goal here as Ender will center it up. Potato, his shot will go wide, and the Vipers will now look for a comeback here as Greed and company can push the ball up the field. Potato steals it away, and right now the Mammoths have all of the side control, not even letting the Vipers breathe. Ball, I don't think, has touched the orange side. Finally gets cleared away, and we'll see what Greed and company can do here to maybe get one in and keep this game close. Here, Not Earth popping it up in the air. Endercrafter and company both trying to go for the follow-up. You get the demo onto the goalie, a chance in a 3-on-2, but no one's able to connect with the back of the net. Greed can start to the counterattack here for the Vipers, who both miss on it. Toki the last one on defense, otherwise that would have been an open net situation for the Mammoths. As Endercrafter now going to look to dribble this one upfield, gets it around one, going to center up, try and bump the goalie out of the way for their teammates to get them the ball. But the Vipers defense holds stout there, ready for that one. A demo does come in, but it's not going to matter. A second one as well gives the Mammoths full control. They're really running Doc's keys right now for the Mammoths. They are demoing all over the place, causing some disruption on the Vipers side.
We love to see it. So does Doc.
Doc gives you those keys for a reason. If you follow Doc's keys, I would say 95% of the time, you'll win the game. There's those one fluke where the ball takes a crazy bounce. So far, the Mammoths in control right in front of the net, though. A nice save by Potato, Not Earth. Just missing on it. As Greed now can take a shot. Mammoths clinging to an early lead. Thought they might get the scoring going in bunches. They scored just 4 seconds in, but haven't had much opportunities after that. You see only the one shot to their name. As Greed and company look to even this game up. A miss there. One more chance for Z Hydra, but not able to make it count. Now Potato gonna lob it down. One off the back wall. And it looks like a nice steal there, but again, ball goes wide of the net for the Vipers, or for the Mammoths. And the Vipers can start the counterattack. Ball goes stolen. Potato gets the touch on it. Not Earth. Shot just rolls wide. Would have been a great chance there with 2 minutes left, but Endercrafter not done yet. Ball bouncing towards the goal. No one on the Vipers could get to it. They finally corral it, but Ender gonna force it right in front of the net. Another great save. Have to wonder where the rest of the Mammoth teammates were.
Oh. They're just flirting with the goal over there. Tokay said no right at the end.
That's a great defense by the Vipers. Is Not Earth again dribbles it in. At what point do you just start to get frustrated, Greg, that you just have so many close chances and you just can't find the net? Is there a point where you like just get mad that you're so close but you can't find the final part of making that goal? Because I mean, that has to be frustrating as heck for these players.
I'm sure, yeah. But especially with the stakes so high like this, you can't get upset, you can't get angry, you can't start looking through, you know, hazed vision. You got to just kind of pass it up to your teammates, say, you know, I'm playing a little hot right now. Give me a second, I'll play defense. But which I think they're doing pretty well with. They still, you know, still seeing that confidence, and they're not, you know, pushing together or trying anything too rash.
Get the goal there as well, but it came off of another miss. I like that comment you made. You're like, hey, I'm a little hot. Let me fall back. Let me play defense. Let me cool down a little bit, because again, there's a lot of stakes on the line. The Mammoths have to make sure they keep their composure because they're dominating this series. It's a 2-0 lead right now. A minute left in this game number 2 in our Fennec Cup, and Not Earth looks to maybe add to this lead. Gonna drop it right in front. And that's what you're looking for. A teammate sets you up. You don't have to worry about hitting the crossbar. And now, for the Mammoths of the team that you're getting worried about because you barely lost last game. And this game, Greg's looking to get away from you. How do you keep your composure, not just let this whole series get away, I think is the question we have to start thinking about.
Yeah, with 40 seconds on the clock, you kind of just have to play for stats and know, you know, lose the battle but win the war. You know, it's not, it's still a best of. They've still got a chance here.
Play for the mental as well. If you're able to get a goal in, 3-1, well, now 4-1 would feel a lot better than 4-0.
Yep.
As the Mammoths add one more. And again, Mammoths, one of our returning champions, a team I think a lot of people had high expectations for, including the Mammoths themselves.
Yeah, that and those expectations change the mental game. It's hard going up against, you know, such Mammoth opponents.
I'm right there with you. If you're the Vipers, you're like, man, we got to get the Mammoths. They add one more. They're looking to really pull away in this game. That is 5-0. Hopefully the Vipers can be able to get one more on the board. The team competed in a few events this fall. Has a lot of individual talent, though, which sometimes just takes a little bit to get put together. Make sure everyone's in the same space. Might have a couple of players who feel they have the same roles, and once they get added into a new team, sometimes that can happen as the ball will touch the ground. The series will end that game a lot more lopsided. And that is something, again, you talked about there. The Mammoths, a big opponent. They've had some championships under their belt. They're a bit more established. Vipers, a newer team. I think a team that has just been recently created, which we talk about. The Esports Tower does a good job, but even if you have a perfect mesh of teammates, it takes a while to figure out everybody's role on the team.
Definitely. And it's not upsetting to just get the experience and have that under your belt. Being able to say that you know, held up against them. It wasn't anything crazy, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the first game is a great game to look on. I don't think the second game is what they were looking for. But, yeah, even if you keep this series close, it's something to build towards as we get to that winter season that's starting next week. That's kind of when, if you're the Vipers, look, we want to compete in the full winter season. That's when we want to make our run. So we'll hop into Game 3 here, see if the Vipers can keep it close or if the Mammoths can, again, as the favorites, as a team. I think a lot of people, the Mammoths especially, may be disappointed they couldn't make the Octane Cup. We'll see if they'll be able to end the season on a high note here with a win in our Fennec Cup. As right now, Protato's going to pop it up in the air. The Hydra's going to dunk it right over them. As Endercrafter will play it around a couple. Greed waiting right at that midfield stripe. Ball bounces. Greed barely gets to it in time, but it is just adjusted in flight by one of the Mammoth members. As Protato ends up accidentally centering it for the Vipers. Could be a scary spot here. Toki's going to take the shot, but it will roll wide. And now Protato and company can look to push up the field. They didn't score in the first 5 seconds like last game, so already a slight improvement for the Vipers. Shot downfield. Tokay is there, though, to make the save. Recentered up. Popped up over another member. And Z-Hydra loses the dribble, so now Not Earth kind of fakes out himself, just off with the ball. So Greed able to take possession in the corner. Can't quite keep it up, and a little bit of solo play so far. Haven't seen too much teamwork between either of our teams so far here in game number 3. And now Protato, see if he can start that teamwork. Look for a pass for a teammate. Centers it right in front. But a great defense there by the Vipers. Hold the Mammoth scoreless after our first minute of play has gone by.
Yeah, that Vipers defense is pretty good most of the time.
Last game notwithstanding, as they had a couple of goals, especially sneak in late. So far, so good. 90 seconds gone by. Really, nobody's generated much offense. Great chance there, but ball takes a really odd hop For sure looked like Z Hydra was going to get that ball shooting in the right direction, but it looked like it kind of honestly lagged through his whole entire car. But looks like Viper's able to hold on. Potato one more chance, but not able to find it as Endercrafter goes racing in. Just over jumps the ball, however, and he'll hand possession right back to the Vipers, who combine for a nice little shot on the net. Easily turned away. Nice teamwork there. That is a great pass. ABC back of the net. That's what you want to see.
Yep.
Passing, working out here. This team spent a lot of time in those workshop maps trying to increase their speed, as we talked about. Sometimes when you know you just don't have your teammates online or you don't have enough for a scrim, just hop in your workshop, hop in your aim labs, and make sure you have just the right fundamentals. And so far, those are paying off for the Mammoths. Is Potato going to set it up for Endercrafter. Races downfield, one man to beat. Pre-jumps the clear. Fantastic play there. But nothing will come of it as Potato now loses the ball. Luckily, Endercrafter's back in time. No wide open net. As it'll be cleared down. Endercrafter will get the rebound. It'll bounce in. Sometimes
right through all three of them. Yeah, I was worried that the defense was too strong and they weren't be able to make any offense plays, but Mammoths don't care.
Sometimes there's those plays where it just feels like the ball goes through your car. We already saw that happen once, and it's like there's three members back, as you said. Should have been an easy save, but everybody just kind of gets caught just in the wrong position, and the Mammoths take the 2-0 lead here. 2 minutes left in our Game 3 Fennec Cup. Mammoths holding on a 2-0 lead, looking to move on to match point and wrap this one up maybe a bit quicker than we saw our Breakout Cup that went 6 games, had an overtime game as well. Vipers looking for their first goal in almost 10 minutes. Shutout last game, shutout so far this game. Is Toki now going to wrap this one up? Gets a couple touches on it, but it's stolen away by Potato. And Potato and Not Earth kind of lied there. Ender, I thought, had a chance to maybe put that one in the back of the net, but did not want to overcommit. The Mammoths showing great restraint here. Not playing with their food, not saying we'll be the over-aggressors because we know we can win this game. They're just playing solid A-style Rocket League. Not trying to be too fancy as Potato off the side wall. One more chance. Greed with the fantastic save. And now the Vipers still in it. Again, 30 seconds a goal. A great pace to have, but you got to find the back of the net first. And as you start to struggle to find goals, Greg, do you look for like the individual to step up, or are you kind of hoping everyone on the team realizes the urgency and all plays as a team? Or is it that star player you're hoping, hey, make a play, please, and the rest of us will feed off that energy?
I don't know. I think the energy has to come from the captain hyping them up, and then everybody steps up at the same time. Especially with such a teamwork-based game where there's only 3 people covering this entire field. Like, you have got to have everybody stepping up at the same time, saying, all right, let's change some things.
See if that can happen.
I do like to see, though, the Vipers are changing their play style based off what they're getting from the Mammoths. I like to see a much heavier defense. They're quicker to double and triple stack on the goal and just forfeit a little bit of offense to try to give a pushback.
It's worked. They've cut the number of goals surrendered from Game 2 in half, and then some. Have 6 saves to show for it as well. And finally, after about 10 minutes of game time, the Vipers find the back of the net, and they give themselves a chance off this kickoff here. It goes the wrong way. 8 seconds left. The crowd counts us down. We'll see if the Vipers are able to put themselves in a position to make a play. Ball can't touch the ground. Got to keep it alive if you want overtime here. And it'll get stolen away and touch the ground. But as we said at the end of Game 2, you got to play for stats. You got to play for your own mental. 2-1 feels a heck of a lot better, I think, Greg, than 2-0, especially not getting shut out 2 straight games in a row. That does a lot for the Vipers to try and reverse sweep here, because if you get shut out 2 games in a row, that's kind of the throw to the controller, say, hey, just get this next game over with. We cannot find the Mammoths out. So that's a great last-second goal.
Definitely. And percentage-wise, that increase over the course of 10 minutes, that's great. I wish my Elo was doing that.
Yeah, you would love to. We'd all love to see it just broken that easily. Just say, hey, only 10 minutes is all it takes to turn things around. But we'll hop into Game 4, see if that final goal can start to build momentum for the Vipers, see if they maybe figure something out. As you said, adapting a lot defensively, saying, hey, look, we'll give up offensive possessions. We just don't want to let this game get out of hand. And we'll see if they can come away with a win here. Again, this Vipers team progressed a lot through the fall. have really hit their stride, they felt, coming into the club championships, making it to this third-place game. A big win for them, as the only teams in front of them are teams that are former champions from the fall. So a great showing there, and looking to turn this into some momentum into the winter for the Vipers. Is the kickoff game number 4. We'll see if the Mammoths can close things out, or if the Vipers have a couple extra games up their sleeves to be able to challenge these Mammoths, as they maybe have started to figure them out overall. As we see here, another great offensive attempt, but a quick stack on the goal and a quick clear away. One man misses, though, and Not Earth takes advantage of the hesitation.
Oof, he was ready for that rebound, too. That was an excellent play there.
The Mammoths have feathered the line of aggressive and controlling, and that was a nice aggressive play, as you mentioned, predicting the rebound, being ready for the shot, and he gives the Mammoths the early lead once again. As unfortunately the Vipers, Toki tries to make a play, not quite able to do it. Protato goes down, and he won't find it, as Endercrafter looks to extend this lead 2-0. Probably not quite comfortable enough. You maybe like that 3-4 goal lead if you are the Mammoths, just so you can feel nice and cozy in case anything crazy happens. Oh, that was going to be a great clear, but Not Earth drove in front of the ball. Endercrafter around the side corner, cleared away right in front of the net. And game 4, about a minute gone by. Much of the same here. A lot of Mammoth domination, but the Vipers defense starting to figure things out and really starting to shut them down. And of course, as I say that, they nearly let a ball bounce in the back of the net. Whew. Caster Curse is a fickle mistress there. See if the Vipers can get back in this one, as they get a close ball to the net. Demo kind of kills the momentum they had, and now Toki ends up pinching that ball right into Not Earth, who clears the wrong direction. Another scary moment for the Mammoths. They've had a couple of those in this game 4, as we saw a bit of head-on collision. Maybe had a Rule 1, but both players able to break out of it without too many shenanigans going on, as Not Earth sneaks it around 1. And Greed gets that ball cleared away. The Mammoths defense, we haven't seen it much, but they have been able to clear the ball away quickly whenever the Vipers have an opportunity and turn it into a counterattack. Ball right in front of the net. Vipers hanging out in front, making sure nothing goes in, but just a great shot by Protato, and Mammoths have a 2-0 lead. Game 4, Mammoths, Vipers, Fennec Cup here. Our second best of 7 of the night. We've got our Octane Cup between the Eagles and Barracudas coming up after this, which should be a fantastic game between two of our better teams in the fall. But right now, these teams playing for 3rd place, and the Mammoths look squarely on their way halfway through and in total control of this game 4 as well, as it'll get cleared down. Potato looks to take possession, and Endercrafter will keep this ball alive on the blue side. Side control has been a key for the Mammoths so far this series. Really have not allowed the Vipers to live on the blue side. Another great save. Again, the Mammoths defense has not been challenged often, but when it has, they have made some fantastic saves. And that speed that they've been practicing with on those workshop packs starting to really come through here. They've driven circles around the Vipers at times. And Vipers, meanwhile, again, a newer team, competed in a few Rumbles in the fall. Really looking to set the tone for maybe a run in the winter, maybe pick up a winter championship in the coming week. They've been working on respecting each other's rotations, play calling during the game, trusting each other on the field, which can be huge for a team recently constructed. And Esports Tower has a great track record of putting together competitive teams. You give them a couple weeks of the Esports Tower coaching, and I think almost 95% of the teams, I'd say 100% of the teams have improved once they get this new roster, once they figure each other out. So we'll see if the Vipers can be that next team to make a run, as Potato and company look to close out this game. Less than 90 seconds left here. One more goal would be the insurance goal that could start to shut the coffin lid on the Vipers' winter season. As the ball does get cleared down again. A lot of players say 30 seconds a goal is a great pace to have. So down 2 goals with 60 seconds on the clock. You do the math. That's plenty of time. But you got to score that first goal quickly here, as Sea Hydra has a chance. Vipers can't quite clear it. Ender and company not quite able to clear this one away. Scary chance here. Vipers maybe looking to put this ball in. They've had a lot of shots in the last 20 seconds, but the ball gets cleared away. It's a one-man-to-beat situation. A great pass, but Ender wasn't expecting it. And that kills the chance for the Mammoths to shut the door on this game. And now the Vipers have a chance here. A fickle one, but a chance. We saw them score last time to have a kickoff opportunity to tie the game, but with 10 seconds left, they're going to need possession of this ball, and Ender and company don't look like they're going to have it. Final chance here for either team. Ball nearly gets hit in on an own goal, but Toki survives it. Goes up in the air, so regardless of what happens, the Mammoths will win this series, and it'll touch the ground. And the Mammoths will come out on top. Pretty dominant win. I think after the Vipers started to figure things out, as you pointed out, Greg, the defense really shored things up. But at the end of the day, the Mammoths offense was just too much to handle.
That's true, yep. But the Vipers wouldn't agree to play, to fight for third place unless they were really there for the practice and really thought they could make the push.
Yeah, again, I think this is a Vipers team that you give them more time off the field. Going into our winter rumbles that, again, start next week, I think that is going to be a great opportunity for the Vipers to make a play. It's the club champion. It's club championships. We had a couple of directors on throughout the last week. Again, this is a great way if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders, pro athletes, team general managers, game producers. Join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to these industry insights with our featured Rumbles recruiter taking notice as well. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. As we head into our final game of the night, Greg, I mean, these are the two top teams. They've been waiting all night long. How do you stay loose in an opportunity like this, where you're kind of waiting, you don't know if a series could go 7 or if it could go 4? What's your routine for a pre-game warm-up to stay loose but don't go too far where you get in the game and you're just already gassed?
And just dry, yeah. Well, I say take a water break. I think more rest is important, but just a quick scrim, a little work in the sidebar like you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Just get the practice out, but don't stress it too hard. It's more of a mental game, I think, than your hand movements.
Yeah, you're totally right. It is a mental game, making sure you pace yourself. Well, we will hop into our Octane Cup here. We're going to take a quick break. But before we go to that break, we're going to throw it over to Doc Haskell. He sat down with Peyton Waite and Wilkins to talk about a very interesting concept in Rocket League or in any game. Managing being on a team versus being friends. And we'll hear what Waite had to say, and then we'll come back with the Octane Cup.
The team game different from, say, 3v3 solo queue, even with friends or organized groups?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about playing with friends is, like, it's a great time, right? We're all there to have fun at the end of the day. But when you're playing with a dedicated team, especially the same team for the long term, that's where it's like it gets really competitive. And it's not for everyone, but for the people who it is for, it's just that much more fun because everyone's motivated to do the same thing. There's no conflicting motives, and you're just improving so much faster than you would from just playing for fun.
And so when you're playing with a team, like an Esports Tower team, how's the communication going to be different than when you're playing with even focused friends?
Well, I mean, the big thing about playing with focused friends is that at the end of the day, you're playing with them because you're friends with them, right? And it's okay to be friends with people who you're competitive with, but it's not going to be exactly the same as people who you met strictly because of you want to get better at the game. Because at that point, there's just no question. We're all here for the same reason, and it's just automatic.
How much of an advantage is good communication? Just good comms, sweaty comms?
Oh, it's so important. Like, if you're communicating as fast as possible, early as callouts as possible, you can set up so many more plays that wouldn't even be possible without communication.
That's awesome.
ProfessionalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back in to this Esports Tower Rumble. We are wrapping up the Fall Club Championships here for our Rocket League Rumbles. We're on our final game of the night, the top game, the Octane Cup between the Eagles and Barracudas. Fish and Greg here calling all of the action. And Greg, this is always an interesting spot because I know everyone wants to be in the championship. But in a championship-like setting, do you like to be the favorite or the underdog?
The underdog. I'm going to say the underdog. I feel like, and that's usually what, who I usually root for. If you're the favorite, you get a lot of hate, but you also get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And I don't like to be in that space.
It's tough because I do agree with you. I think the underdog, as long as it's like a slight underdog, if they're favored by a ton, then I'll take the favorite. But if it's a close game and you're the slight underdog, I like it because the favorite, if you lose the first game of a best-of-7 or maybe the second game and you're down 2-0, you're like, what? We're supposed to win this. You start to pressure yourself. So the underdog, you can play fast and loose. If you don't end up winning, you're disappointed, but you're like, hey, we weren't favored to win. It's a good learning experience. I'm right there with you. I think the underdog, it's just so much easier. It's just so much less pressure. If you had to pick, Barracuda's probably the favorite. Eagles the slight underdog. But again, they're both champions. I think this is going to be a fantastic game. The Octane Cup to wrap up the club championship. A lot on the line here to say you were the best of the fall teams. Because again, we had a ton of teams come back for the club championships. I know the Barracudas is one of those teams we've seen forever. We'll see who comes out on top in this best-of-7. Will it be the Eagles, the newer team, the upstarts, or the Barracudas, the old guard who have been here forever? We'll have to find out. But I'm right there with you. I think the underdog's so much better. And look, after game one, regardless of who wins, if you're down 0-1 in a best-of-7, is there any panic in your mind, Greg, since it is such a long series as opposed to maybe a best-of-3 or a best-of-5 where you could be up against it? How much panic do you have after just one game?
Not really. It's a real – you could give or take around at that point. And I think you earn a lot more every game just reading into your opponents that you can give up a round to have that.
I mean, we saw that with the Vipers. It took them 2 games. They adjusted to the Mammoths. Didn't quite get the results they wanted, but they kept the games closer, kept them competitive to the very end. Well, we'll hop into Doc's Keys before we hop into the Octane Cup, presented by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Doc's letting them know, create mistakes, punish the double commit, don't overstay, and then, of course, bump opponents to demo and disrupt. Those are all huge. If you want to be the club champion, make sure you listen to Doc. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. Be matched with great players and professional coaches at esportstower.com. And, of course, these kids have been growing all season. It is time to kick off the Octane Cup. The Eagles taking on the Barracudas for this week's top spot, and really, unofficially, the top spot of the fall. The Eagles have been one of the strongest teams all season. The Barracudas have been undergoing kind of under the radar. They've had some roster changes, but again, at the end of the day, the Barracudas are one of our long-standing teams. I think have the most Rumble victories of any team in the game. As we hop into this one, Barracudas and Eagles, regardless of what our scoreboard says, and we'll see what the Barracudas in orange, you see it gets updated there, and the Eagles in blue could do. Is Strudel going to pop that one up in the air, look to carry it down over to Adrift Lemming, who has been a spectacular player for the Barracudas, really has grown into their own. And I mean, I know I've seen on the scoreboard there, one of the supersonic legends that we have in Esports Tower, which is a very high rank, is Strudel. Scores first, and the Barracudas, the favorites, strike early here. Let's see what the Eagles can do to come back. This is a great goal. Again, a new Barracudas team, if you've been watching forever, names like Quez now not being shown is kind of weird, but Melk and Strudel put on a great performance last week. And alongside Drift Lemming, this looks to be one of the top teams in the Esports Tower. And there's Wilds and company. Have to look for the comeback here. Jababy looking to take his shot. Not able to find it. Strudel's going to pop it up in the air. Jababy once again alongside Wilds and Thrift. This roster has put up goals in bunches at times, 6-7 goals, and they find one there to quickly even out our Octane Cup Game 1 at 1 aside with a minute gone. Coming into the club championships, the Eagles team was focusing really hard on individual improvements, focusing on what each player needs to work on moving forward, the team aspect. Kind of all set in stone. Again, Jababy, Thrift, and Wilds have been together for, I think, 4 or 5 of our last Rumbles. So not a roster that's going to have to work out those communication issues, but a roster that's just working on individual skill, bringing it to the next level to take on teams like the Barracudas and teams they've fallen victim to in the past. And Strudel's going to clear that one, gets stolen away. Jababy, one man to beat. But Drift Lemming reads that perfectly, and now Drift Lemming gets to go coast to coast for the Eagles to go up 2-1 in this game. And something that, you know, the Eagles have been working on is the patience. And that one right there, a little bit of an overcommit. Giving up sort of a free goal as the Drift Lemming can make a save, go coast to coast on it. And we'll see what Barracudas are able to do. Can they build their lead? Can the Eagles start to shrink the gap? As ball kind of ping-pongs around there, ends up in Strudel's hands, or Hood, I should say. And it's cleared away by Thrift, at least towards midfield, but the Barracudas playing fast. Already in possession, right in front of the net, challenged by Wild. Strudel comes in, and it's cleared away once again, and the Eagles defense starting to shore things up, but the offense is lacking as they don't even get a possession on the orange side before the ball is cleared back. Wilds loses it out on the dribble. You can see these teams both with some pretty impressive aerial plays. And part of the reason why both returning champions, both teams I think you would say were favorited to make this Octane Cup for the club championships in the fall, and I think two teams that are going to be favored heading into the winter as well. Probably the two teams that you'll be looking to unseed if you're a team like the Mammoths or the Vipers or maybe even the Gators, who we all saw earlier tonight. 2 minutes on the clock. The Barracudas have a 2-1 lead as Wilds and company looking to set something up. A great demo there, and even Thrift saying it. Savage in the chat letting them know. No, not too pleased about that demo, as the Drift Lemming will clear that away and look to set this one up. Chance here for Strudel. Jababy just misses. Strudel now has an opportunity, but it's stolen away, and the Eagles defense looking to turn it into offense, and it just hits off the crossbar. Demo does come out, and Milk will finally put his name up there in lights. The respawn from Wild just too far behind the ball, and Milk barely sneaks it past Thrift and Wilds for the third goal of game number 1. And a 3-1 lead for the Barracudas here. Starting to run out of time if you're the Eagles. Only about 90 seconds left, but a great chance here, but another huge demo. Doc's Keys being followed by Strudel and company to a T. As they're getting the demos to disrupt what the Eagles want to do offensively. They're limiting their opportunities and really shutting out a player like Wilds. You see there, and only one save, no shots. Wilds usually a player who almost flirting with a hat trick every game, it feels like, alongside Thrift and Jababy. So to shut down their best player, definitely
be pretty strong to do that.
Yeah, that's definitely a statement if you shut down their best player in game 1.
Yeah, putting Wilds to shame here. It's no easy work.
So hopefully Wilds get some help from Jababy, and Thrift doesn't have to push too hard. As with less than a minute left, ball will get cleared all the way down. Barracudas probably just starting to kill clock. One more goal would really seal this game number 1 and be a great confidence builder for the Barracudas in this Octane Cup. And we'll see if they can get it done here as we're down to 30 seconds. Eagles looking for 2 goals. And that demolition's probably going to make that a bit harder. Baby looks to clear it, and that stop right there, unless something crazy happens in the next 15 seconds. Probably going to be what seals this game. So a 3-1 win, it looks like. Maybe even 4-1 for the Barracudas as Melk just barely misses. And we'll see what the Eagles can do to rebound here. Again, came in as the underdog ever so slightly. That ball could have been another goal.
Yeah, 3-1 for Barracudas. I don't think that's where we were going to place our bets to begin with. That's good to see.
You see the stats there. And I mean, boost use, side control, very close. But at the end of the day, the more shots you take, Greg, the more likely you are to score. And the Barracudas kind of dominate in that category, a 60 to 40 advantage. As we see, and you talked about before this match started, one game's not too much to panic, but you said you like being the underdog, and I guess we'll get to that in a second there, kind of see how you would be feeling. But if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights with our featured Rumbles recruiters taking notice as well. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. So put you in the side of the underdog, Greg, in a best of 7. When does the panic start in? Is it 2-0? Is it, 3-0 obviously, but when do you start to really panic and push if you're the Eagles, realizing we're running out of time to adapt to the Barracudas?
I think halfway to a shutout. Halfway to a shutout, I'd start sweating for sure.
So win here for the Barracudas, you'd be right there. And again, being the underdog, you can play a little bit more loose. I think you can take a couple more risks. I think the pressure still remains on the Barracudas because this is the favorite team. It's a new look, though, for the Barracudas with Strudel and Melk joining Adrift Fleming for the club championships. I know a lot of people, including myself, are excited for Quez, one of our longtime Barracuda players, to be back in this club championship. But, again, this team's looking really, really talented. Never thought the Barracudas could change up players and continue to remain on top. But that's what they've done, at least so far in game number 1. They get the win. And we hop into game number 2. And nearly 8 seconds in, Adrift Lemming scores. The crossbar just disagreeing, but we will have to see if that's the case as Melk's going to play that one off the side wall, pass it over to Adrift Lemming, who, instead of taking the shot, ends up looking for a back pass, but nobody's home. Thrift's able to clear it down. And a mistake there for the Barracudas, but no punish for the Eagles as Wild's able to retreat, corral this one, and start to push it up the field in a demo now as the Eagles have started to figure things out. Again, best of 7. You got plenty of time to work with. You can feel free to lose a game if you know that it meant you learned what the Barracudas want to do for the long term. And we're here, Bay Rick. We are right in the middle of the Octane Cup here. Final cup of the night in the Esports Tower Club Championships for the fall. Final series of the night, I should say. Best of 7, Barracudas with a 1-0 series lead. Ojababy and company get an open shot on the net. Strudel turns it away. The Barracudas, much like we saw in the Mammoths, prioritizing that defense and allowing defense to turn to offense. But as I say that, the Eagles strike first, which has got to be huge. Not only after being shut out, only getting 1 goal last game, but to get the lead early on, which they did not have last time.
Yeah, that's a boost for sure. Wow.
I like that animation. That's fun. There's some fun ones there. And I think wow indeed. But the Eagles take the lead over the Barracudas as Thrift gonna put another one in, and the wow goes in our face, Greg, and that's a nice back-to-back goals for the Eagles.
Back-to-back indeed. That definitely beats out the 30-second round you were hoping for.
It's right in your face if you score. My goodness. Feel like I'm watching a 3D movie almost up here. We'll see what the Barracudas could do. Plenty of time left, but 2 straight goals. The Eagles have clearly started to figure things out. Both goals by Thrift, who the coaches say has improved the most recently on this Eagles squad and put in a lot of time and effort into his practice and his ranked play. And at least so far, 2 minutes into game number 2, it's been paying off as Strudel will get one back, and the Barracudas show that you can't ever get too comfortable as the Eagles, they can strike right back.
Yeah, we knew Strudel was good for one.
That's the thing. You can never let up in Rocket League, even though the game might feel incredibly short. You can always have to be looking for goal-scoring opportunities. The moment you start to play clock, you start to just say, okay, we can play for time. We don't have to worry about scoring another goal. things like that happen, and a 2-goal lead turns into a 1-goal lead very quickly.
Yep. And if they're both really offensive teams, then we might see Eagles back-to-back some points, but Barracudas might turn around and do the same thing.
Barracudas nearly got that second straight goal that you were talking about, but it turned away on the goal line. And we'll see what the Eagles can do. Not even half of this game 2 gone by yet as we reach that halfway mark. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game. And one more shot from Milk. Not able to find it. And the Eagles getting a lot more consistent pressure than they got in game number 1. As Drift Lemming clears it down, Strudel pops it up right in the air. Milk will clear it, but will get demoed for his troubles. But he'll respawn before anything happens, and we'll get one on. I think it looks like a double demolition. Wilds and a Drift Lemming go down, so we'll play a bit of a brief 2-on-2. But everyone's back and respawned here, and nothing really came of it. Something we talked about at times, and I know Doc's mentioned sometimes going for the demo isn't just the right play. If it's better to take a shot, and Strudel puts it in. Strudel good for a second.
Right on top of him, too. That was ballsy.
The Drift Lemming. This is great follow-up, but Drift Lemming just couldn't quite force it in the back of the net. Strudel realizes it's his time to hop in, and he puts it in the back of the net. But again, going for the demo just to demo, as Doc has talked about in the past, not always the right call. It's better to make sure your team can benefit from it, because if you put yourself in the wrong position, bad things can happen. As Thrift, well, what looked like a great save, unfortunately the rebound rolls right to a Drift Lemming. And we talked about it, the favorites can strike at any time. They've erased that 2-0 lead and now have a lead of their own. It's the Barracudas lead 3-2 here in game number 2. Best of 7 Octane Cup to crown our last champion, really our club champion of the Fall Rumble season. And that one nearly goes in, and you hate to see it, the own goal.
Ugh. Strudel had such a setup for that. Look at this almost solo play, and then just steps back, gets ready for the rebound, but they darn near hand it to him. That's always rough.
Yeah, Strudel was in great position. If Thrift doesn't make that save, Strudel puts it in anyway. And you know, with how fast Rocket League's going at times, there's a reason we don't have the own goal feature. So we'll give it to Strudel. He'll get the hat trick. And Thrift, well, that's a way to answer right back. You allow an own goal, you just score one yourself. Say, hey, that's my bad, but we're even now.
Goodness. Yep, Thrift covering his back there. Said, oh, that one's on me. I'll take care of the next one.
Always a nice little redemption arc for a player. You never want to have a player kicking themselves saying, man, if I don't let that goal in, we win the game.
Yep.
So you get one back, and Thrift can say he's at least even on the day now. One for the other team, one for his team. And 90 seconds left. Barracudas holding on to a 4-3 lead. As you mentioned, Greg, these teams both offensively putting in goals in bunches.
They sure are. Yeah, bunches like packs of bananas here.
Fourth could be easily maybe 5-5 as we get a tie at 4 before we even drop under the minute mark. That's a great goal by Wilds. See here, just following it the whole time. Eagles, I think, have figured things out. Much more aggressive team than we saw in game number 1.
Definitely. Yep, they've really amped it up.
And as you alluded to, sometimes it's best just, again, don't lose on purpose, but if you take game 1 and it's more of a scouting game and you don't get the win, but you know exactly how you can attack the team in the rest of the series, that can be a worthwhile venture, and it feels like maybe that's what the Eagles did. Is game number 1 was very one-sided. Game number 2 is really a toss-up between these two squads. As Strudel and company clear it down, look to build their lead back up, or will the Eagles find the go-ahead goal here, or will we find an overtime for game number 2? Really the questions we're waiting to see. Is it's right in front of the Barracuda's net. Not able to convert on it though, and Thrift now gonna race up the field. The Drift Lemming off the wall. Nice little flip there onto the ball, but gets turned away. 30 seconds left. Can either team break the tie here, or will we reset to overtime? Baby gonna go off the wall. Wilds can't quite force it in. And the Eagles and Barracudas remain tied. 10 seconds left. Anything can happen. Chance here for the Barracudas. Wilds gonna clear it away. 5 seconds left. Once that clock hits 0, ball just simply can't touch the ground, or we're heading to overtime, and that's where we find ourselves. And it looks like Wilds will simply let that reset. Didn't like the direction that ball was heading. And we'll see, last time we saw overtime tonight, ended up almost going 3 minutes between the Quakes and Gators before the Gators came out on top with a fantastic goal. And now we'll see what the Barracudas and Eagles can do. How much overtime do they have in them? Adrift Lemming going to get demoed, making a solo play there in front of the net. As Thrift sneaks it past a couple, Adrift Lemming going to pop it up in the air. And collision there for the Barracudas. But they don't take themselves out of the play quite yet. Strudel now with a chance. Had so many great goals, has a hat trick on the game. Really a chance to get the Barracudas a 2-0 lead.
A close shot, a little bit wide there.
Ooh, another close shot. Eagles starting to pressure here late in a minute into overtime. 2-on-3. As we see there, Drift Lemming gonna pop it up in the air. Clear by Milk.
Doc says he's just in awe of the play. So my Doc, it's been a tight one. Hopefully this overtime doesn't stretch too far, but things are seeming pretty solid from both sides.
Yeah, the longer this overtime goes, I mean, then you start to feel like you're playing maybe even an 8th game if this series goes the distance. These minutes can really add up, and I think you're right. Anytime it's a golden goal situation, it's hard not to just stop and look and say, wow. Especially between the two top teams. And no one's really given an inch besides those couple of close calls. Barracudas really have not found much success or really even close to success in overtime. As I say that, though, Drift Lemming at least gets it past one. Melk will try a high bouncer, can't quite find it, and Wild will just simply clear it away. And the Eagles and Barracudas will play on as we drudge past the 2-minute mark. Here in overtime of game 2, this could be it, though.
So close.
Great demo on the goalie. Now Milk carrying it in. Can't quite find it, neither can Strudel. Adrift Lemming looking for the follow-up. Got to make sure they don't overcommit. Adrift Lemming over to Milk, who hits off the crossbar, but Strudel will end it. And I think 3 minutes or so, or 2.5 minutes at least, into overtime. Adrift Lemming giving us the great view. Looks like he trusted that goal was going in the whole time. And the Barracudas will build that 2-0 lead here. But the stats a lot closer than in game number 1, including the Eagles coming out on top in terms of boost and side control.
Yeah.
But once again, shots favor the Barracudas, and shots are what win you the game. And now it's kind of, Greg, where you alluded to the panic might set in if you're the Eagles. Even though you're the underdog, you're down 2-0 in this series. You only have 2 more games left.
Yeah, I think the panic sets in when there's that last 30 seconds of them just dribbling off the wall. So many close calls, so many close shots. I'd be getting worried there for sure. So this is where it starts to fill up, where we start to see the end of the game approaching. I'm not saying that I'd be worried, but it's getting close.
Yeah, you got to start finding wins here if you're the Eagles. Game 2 was a great improvement from Game 1 in terms of Game 1, a very Barracudas dominated. Game 2, I mean, we played overtime, and when you get to overtime, it really feels like a coin flip. It's next goal wins. We'll see as we hop into game number 3. Who comes out on top? Can the Barracudas move to match point, or can the Eagles start the comeback here in our Octane Cup? Again, best of 7 series here. Barracudas halfway done. The 2-0 lead right now as we hop into game 3. An early demo on to Wilds. But despite that early demo, it's actually the Eagles with the early pressure. As Wilds off the respawn will take a shot, and the Eagles strike first.
Yeah, talk about early pressure.
That's one way to alleviate, being down 2-0 in the series, is you just score first and make it so the other team always has to answer what you do. And we'll see if that's what Adrift Lemming and company can do, if they can match the Eagles' goal, or if the Eagles can maybe even put in a second and really start to build this lead and start to pull away. As Thrift and company get a touch on it. It's rolling towards the ball, or towards the goal, I should say, but it's cleared away by Adrift Lemming. And Adrift Lemming will take a shot, stopped by Wilds at midfield. As once again the Barracudas keep the pressure on. But now it's an advantageous situation. Thrift gonna take this solo. nearly drops it in the back of the net, but at the end of the day, a nice save there for the Barracudas. One more attempt. Not quite able to find it either, and Thrift will put it in and give that Eagles that 2-goal lead that they were looking for.
Oh, a beautiful self-pass for the old 1-2. Right over everyone's head.
Thrift has been the money player for the Eagles. Again, as you said, one of the more improved players on the team in recent weeks in practice and in their ranked play.
Definitely some impressive ball control moves from Thrift there.
Practice pays off. That's a key example why, as Wilds joins in on the fun. He'll put up another goal as well, and the Eagles have taken control of this game in a way we had not seen before. That is huge. Felt like the series was slipping away, but now it's a 3-goal lead. They can easily come out on top.
Yeah, maybe a slow start, but they're the top dogs that we know and love.
Still plenty of time. 3.5 minutes on the clock. Plenty of time, though, for the Eagles as well to start to pull away in this game. As a Drift Lemming now can look to dribble us up the field. Ooh, Strudel with a nice save, but a risky one at that. Thrift coming in, smelt blood in the water. Wasn't able to find it. Thrift beats the demolition. Barracudas now start on the counter attack, but the ball is just a bit too far out in front of Strudel. And he's not able to make a play on it. As neither Melk nor Drift Lemming can clear it. Finally, Strudel can. The Barracudas are simply running out of time. Not a lot of offense here in game number 3 so far, after a dominating performance in game 1 and game 2. The Eagles have figured things out. Touch for Melk there over into the corner. A Drift Lemming gonna pop it up in the air, but they can't find the net either. And you know, the Barracudas, again, as we said, a new squad, the new look with Strudel, Melk, and a Drift Lemming. Team's been working on positioning, rotations, really started to see improvement against those things that at high level play you know what to do. As Strick puts one more in. But with a new team, you always got to make sure everyone's on the same page. If I go left, are you also going to go left, or will you go right? Just those kind of simple teamwork things that shouldn't take them too far to work out. And in particular, Drift Lemming, I've been told, has really improved his fundamentals as a player. And it's really helped him grow in a team environment. I know as a solo player from time to time, when we've seen a Drift Lemming has taken over games and dropped some spectacular solo plays, it's going to be just that much more scarier once they have that team aspect down. And I mean, you can see the ultimate goal. There's no hiding it for Drift Lemming. It's in the name, Road to CRL. And if that's your goal, you got to be a team player. Good to see a Drift Lemming's been working on that. And we'll see if his teammates Melk and Strudel can help him start to erase this 4-0 gap. Time not on their side, but again, these two teams are offensive juggernauts, and a Drift Lemming answers the call, and all of a sudden, Barracudas have a chance here in our game 3. Just a great goal there. Out racing Wilds and Thrift to the corner.
Yeah, they definitely tried though.
It was the goal margins are getting smaller and smaller as the night goes on. We're not seeing as many wide open goals. We're not seeing as many freebies. You have to work for every single one of those goals, which can make overcoming a 3-goal deficit incredibly hard, because they're not going to give you an easy one, are the Eagles. We see here, Melk gets it past one. Has a chance to make it past a second, but Jababy is there for the fantastic save. One more shot, and the Drift Lemming once again puts it in, and now the Eagles' sweat starting to build up again, because this lead has shrunk by 2 goals in just the last 30 seconds. See if the Barracudas can continue the comeback, or if the Eagles can slam the door shut in their face and keep this series from getting out of hand. And again, a Barracudas win would put them on match point in this best-of-7 series. And so, TikTok, Melk there nearly getting one for the TikTok. That would have been a great tying goal. or I guess to get them within 1, I should say, but the Eagles will build their lead. The hats will rain down, not much cooler than that, and that feels like the goal to sort of put this game away.
Do you think they have the chance, Fish, to pull a point every 15 seconds here?
Oh, I mean, even for the Barracudas, that feels tough. I would say no. Of course, the easy way out, picking a team with a 5-2 lead and 45 seconds left. No one will say that I'm taking the hot take route there, but no, I don't think so, Greg. Especially just with the way the Eagles have been playing. The Eagles have done a fantastic job of really learning throughout this entire series. They learned in Game 1, made it much closer in Game 2, and in Game 3.
Yeah, and that learning is what brings us to, you know, the goal margin closing, like you talked about earlier there. The game just gets tougher as you start to understand your opponent.
And the Eagles, the clear understanding of the Barracudas, at least in that game, a 5-2 win, it appears. Let the final seconds tick down before we mark it in the book as official, as the Eagles will keep it alive for one last hurrah, and the Wall will keep it alive as well. Demo comes out, Wilds can't get there, and the Eagles strike back with a huge 5-2 win. Again, Boost has been very even this whole series, but the side control, an area where the Eagles have, I think, had the advantage in our last 2 games. I know in the last game for sure, but finally the shots evening up, and that's what we wanted to see from the Eagles, because they had the boost advantage, they had the side control advantage, Greg, but at the end of the day, they weren't taking shots off of that advantage, and that's how you score goals in Rocket League. So nice to see them have the shot advantage, and nice to see this series kind of get a little bit closer.
Yeah, evening out a little bit here, maybe a little sweat off the palms of the Barracudas, or of the Eagles being able to take that one.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are right there. They clearly have shown that they could make this a 2-2 game, a 2-2 series very quickly, I should say, as we hop into game number 4. Barracudas and Eagles, Octane Cup, final overall match, final overall series, I should say, of our Fall Club Championships between these two teams. Someone will go home as sort of the ultimate winner of the fall, and someone will have just a little bit more work to do with a second place finish. So you see early on, once again, more pressure from the Eagles. Ball bouncing right in front of the net, gets popped up in the air. Baby will get a touch on it. Wilds and Thrift will look to combine for a clear, but they're not able to find it. Baby able to dodge that demo and make another great save as well. And the Barracudas look to be on top here early on, at least in terms of side control, though the ball has gone back to the orange side. And the Barracudas hold that 2-1 series lead as well over the Eagles. Griffin Company looking to get back in this series. Oh, that shot just wide. Take a shot, and Strudel will score the first goal. And the Barracudas strike first here.
A good try from Gababy, but he was just a little bit too wide. Hit the bar there.
Again, the margins are so small when it comes to scoring for both these teams. We'll see if the Barracudas can hold on. Still plenty of time left. Could build the lead here, though Gababy this time is in a great spot. And the Drift Lemming will get knocked out of the way. The Eagles will look to clear it. And, oh, nearly a goal for Wilds there. Can't quite find it. And the Barracudas can stay alive.
Goodness, 3 shot attempts there, right back to back. A little scary.
Strudel now looking to build this lead. Drift Lemming now going to go up in the air. Can't quite find it. Strudel and Melt kind of play a game of chicken before Strudel ends up taking it right in front of the net, but Drift Lemming will clear that one away.
Wow. Gababy is not letting that side control move back over. He's just been sending it back across the half a few times in a row now.
I think that goalie play for Gababy is a big reason why the Eagles have had that side control lead, because the moment it touches the blue side, he just,
nope.
Yeah, he just says, nope.
You're not supposed to be over here.
Get it back to the orange side, even if it doesn't result in a good touch. Just keeping it away from your own goal is quite an easy way to win in Rocket League. But you got to score goals, as right now the Eagles have not been able to score one.
And as you know, it's shooting that makes that happen. So hopefully Wilds can bring it in with a good shot here. Doesn't quite make it all the way though.
Oh, what a save by Milk.
Well placed.
A phenomenal effort there. And Strudel and Gababy now looking to combine for something. As Wilds is there, but can't quite find it. We're down to 90 seconds. Milk might even extend the lead here, but it does get turned away by the Eagles. Strudel gonna take the shot. Adrift Lemming will wrap it up. And 60 seconds left now. Barracudas holding on to a very slim lead here in our Game 5. Milk and company driving down the field. They're trying to kind of use their teammates to draft each other there, but it won't quite work out. And Adrift Lemming will play it off the side, get a touch on it, and 30 seconds left here for the Eagles. Can they score a goal to force overtime, or will the Barracudas get to match point here? That is the question. 18 seconds left. Barracudas with a 1-0 lead, and that 1-0 lead might hold. Strudel looking to build it. 6 seconds here. Thrift and company, they've got to go the length of the field now to tie this game up and force overtime. Gababy's going to take it. Once the ball to Wilds, they all commit for it, and this ball should easily touch the ground as Adrift Lemming.
Almost went for a gorgeous solo play there. I was actually hoping to see that.
I mean, and you see just how deadlocked that game was. Total shots, dead even, boost. I'm sure just a few apart, as you see there. But the side control, as you alluded to, Greg, Gababy doing a great job of clearing that ball down, not allowing the Barracudas to get more attempts. The only problem is the Eagles couldn't find anything off of all those clears as well.
And what you talked about earlier, Gababy being an excellent goalie on that one. It doesn't show it there, but he had so many saves in that round.
Oh, yeah, Gababy was playing great defensively. They just need to find somebody on offense who can take over for the Eagles. Or if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice as well. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. Barracudas now 1 game away from wrapping up the Octane Cup. The Eagles need something to turn things around, and we'll have to see here. I think before we hop into the game between the Eagles and the Barracudas, I think as we see here again, Octane Cup, Barracudas versus Eagles, 3-1 series lead for the Barracudas, and we will hop right into this next game as the Eagles look to stay alive here, Greg, and the Barracudas look to just wrap this series up and end the Cinderella story before it can get started.
Yeah, they're definitely on the chopping block here. Hopefully they can up the power and take that point that gets them to closer to tie. It would have been nice to have last turn, but they've still got it. It's not over till it's over.
Again, best of 7 there.
Strudel taking an early lead.
A nice goal by Strudel. It's kind of a couple of misses by the Eagles. And Strudel puts it in the back of the net. The Barracudas have an early lead. Again, best of 7. Don't mind the scoreboard here in the Octane Cup. Give the Eagles as many opportunities as we can to get back in this series. Because again, they had the dominant win in Game 3. Thought maybe they had turned the corner. And this time, Gababy, who was the defensive hero last game, at least keeping him to 1 goal, scores one here to tie things up, so the Eagles offense at least working a bit better here in game number 5. See players getting a little bit spicy up there in the chat. See if it punishes the Barracudas for all the talk. See if the Rocket League gods will punish the cockiness, or if the Barracudas just know what's in store for them. Is Strudel's going to win that one. Gets turned away by Thrift. Milk with the clear and the shot as well, but can't quite find it. Strudel bounces one up, but Kababy going to make a nice save.
Yeah, twice in a row there.
And Kababy, the kind of the do-it-all player this game, has the multiple saves, has the big reason why the side control is almost always in the Eagles' favor, but also has the lone goal for the Eagles.
Doing pretty well so far. He's definitely an asset to have.
So he'll make another fantastic stop there and immediately carry it down. So we've seen a lot of Thrift and Wilds early on. Thrift with the hat trick in game number 2, and those two a big reason why the Eagles won their lone game of the series so far. But
yeah, we definitely saw some excellent screen time from Thrift and Wilds earlier on.
As they say, teamwork makes the dream work, and if Kababy can match the play Thrift and Wilds had, and Thrift and Wilds can get back to that level, though a miss on that ball, not what you were hoping for. And the Eagles are by no means out of this series quite yet, as Kababy's going to take the shot. Strudel will look to keep it on the blue side, and now Milk will do the same. Still a 1-1 game here in game number 5. Barracuda's on match point in our best of 7 series. Eagles just trying to get back into it as Kababy once again. Talk about making some big time plays. Kababy has their team in the lead, trying to will them back into this series, it feels like.
Oh yeah. Like I was talking about earlier, maybe Kababy wasn't having it, was getting a little heated. Decided, hey, you know what? I'll step up later.
Leaving their goal scoring spot, and their goalie spot, I should say, for a goal scoring spot. Doing pretty much a lot of everything. A lot of shots, couple goals, the save, and the demo as well. And unfortunately for Kababy, Adrift Lemming will answer that goal in very little time with one of his own.
Bringing us back to a 2-2.
Once the Eagles figured things out, the margins in this series shrunk incredibly. We've had an overtime game, a pretty dominant game by the Eagles, and then a 1-0 win in the Barracudas in game number 4. And so far, game 5, halfway gone by, is tied at 2, and neither team's really given much as Milk just barely misses. But it's Kababy's turn. The hat trick would be huge. And hoping the Eagles pick up this win and keep the series going in our Octane Cup. Barracudas don't want that to happen. Want to wrap it up right now. And even with the new roster, add to the growing number of Rumble championships this Barracuda team has picked up over the last few years. As Adrift Lemming clears it down. Wild's right in front of the net. Milk is there. And here comes Adrift Lemming, and Milk will steal it. And the Barracudas, 90 seconds left, find themselves right where they want to be. Milk sneaking it past. What a great goal. If they end up winning this series, and that proves the game to be the game-winning goal, maybe one for the TikTok. As well as Thrift now carries it down. Kababy and Wild. Oh, one missed chance. Maybe Kababy has one more in him. As you see Wilds go flying past, and you can feel the pressure starting to mount here for the Barracuda, or for the Eagles. And as I say that, wow, indeed. Thrift ties our game up at 3-a-side.
Yeah, took it from the half and just bumps it in.
It's a great goal.
Wow, indeed.
Little animation right in your face. And we'll see who comes out on top, or if we have another overtime game in the store here, as Kababy pops it up. Again, Kababy would love nothing more than the game-winning goal to be the hat trick. You have to assume, especially after Adrift Lemming talking some smack in all chat there. Thrift centers it down. No one is around. Wild's going to try to do the same thing. Wild's one of those players been focusing on improving his decision making, including boost pathing, quality of commits. Could use some of those right now as the Eagles probably want to avoid overtime. Probably want to win this game outright, not have to deal with the coin flip of next goal wins it. Though in essence, with 20 seconds left, we are at a point where if you score here, you honestly probably do win it for your team. And as I say that, Strudel with 14 seconds left will sneak it in.
Yeah, when the clock's close on a tie, you've kind of entered overtime already.
One last good chance for the Eagles. Kickoff here. Adrift Lemming wins it with ease. I mean, another goal for sure slams the door. You got to be careful. Gababy, chance taken. 5 seconds left. Can the Eagles find any way to get us to overtime? Wild's going to put it on net, and with zeros on the clock, Gababy has the hats fall down.
Unbelievable. An excellent teamwork play right there. Tossing it out, bringing it back, and just dropping it straight in.
And with 0 seconds, a 4-4 game, and at least for now, Gababy has quieted the in-game chat with that goal. Oh, might get one here to win it all. Ends up getting demoed. But again, next goal wins. If it's the Barracudas who score, they win the series, and they win the club championship. If the Eagles score, we get ourselves a game number 6, but that will not happen. Milk will end it, and the Barracudas hold on in overtime, come away. But what a fight from the Eagles. I mean, outside that game number 1, every game in this series, Greg, determined by 1 goal.
Yeah.
That just speaks to the closeness of this series. Again, Eagles can't quite get it done. The Barracudas pick up the win.
Close indeed, though. That total shots was almost tied at the middle, and they were still able to take it just barely in the overtime. We've had some good matchups.
Yeah.
The overtimes have been ringing in today.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, this is one of those, you play this series back, I don't know if the Barracudas win 4 games to 1 in a best of 7. These two teams are very close. I cannot wait for the winter to see how these things end, because again, the Barracudas pick up the 4-1 win there in the Octane Cup, but the Eagles very close. Kind of that new guard, the newer team, the Eagles who had been dominating in the fall, get dethroned as the Barracudas come back for their rightful spot after a couple weeks off. Well, if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice as well. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. Congratulations to the Barracudas. And I mean, really a number of names. And I mean, this might be one of those situations as we get to our Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game, Greg, a player that you and I talked quite a bit about. In a losing effort, Gababy felt like a big reason why the Eagles kept that so close. I don't know if you can give him the player of the game, but I do want to give a shout out to them because I thought they played phenomenally keeping the Eagles in that series.
Definitely had the gumption down to the last pin drop. So I think, I don't know if they'll get it, but they definitely deserve some shout out for sure.
On the Barracuda side, I think all 3 of them played really well. Going to be hard to pick who it is going to be here as we take a look at some of our replays and we take a look in the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. Goes to Thrift, another one of those Eagles players who, even though they didn't get the job done, Thrift had a hat trick in game 2 to keep that series close, took over game 3, and I think in a losing effort, a well-deserved player of the game because Thrift, if it wasn't for Thrift, if they didn't play like they did in those 2 games, this series would have been over well before Gababy got things going later on.
That is true. They definitely played well in the first half and set up the ground and let Gababy operate on top of that. So without them, it would have been down the chute in the first 10 minutes.
Big congratulations to Thrift. You are our Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. Idaho Central believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central is helping members achieve financial success. Thrift is your Idaho Central Credit Union Player of the Game. But, of course, at the end of the night, it's a big congratulations to the Barracudas picking up the Octane Cup win, calling themselves kind of final club championships. And a big congratulations to all of the teams. I mean, the Mammoths as well picking up a win in our Fennec Cup, and the Gators picking up a win in our Breakout Cup as well. Well, that will wrap up the fall season for the Esports Tower Rocket League Rumbles. Can't wait to come back next week for the winter season, see if anyone can dethrone the Barracudas. Can the Mammoths and Eagles make runs? Can the Gators use this Breakout Cup win to turn things around for the winter? Or will a newer team, like maybe the Quakes or the Vipers, have a run in the winter that we'll be talking about?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, that is all we have tonight. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Congratulations again to all the teams on strong performances, the Gators, Mammoths, and Barracudas in particular. Week was jam-packed with exciting moments and teams making their last pushes before the end of the season. Join us next week for the start of the winter season and see who will come out on top and who can challenge the Barracudas as they end the fall as our top team. We'll close out now with our top 5 presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time with more than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your group choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams out there. Enjoy our top 5 from the Fall Club Championships. We can't wait to see you next week for our Winter Rocket League Rumble. One member misses, but it hits off the top of the crossbar. But the follow-up from Altac gives him the hat trick. And pretty much all but secures this Game 6 in the Breakout Cup for the Gators.
Yeah, just well played by Altac, really able to get to the ball first and just hits it
A
nice.
lot of stakes on the line. The Mammoths have to make sure they keep their composure because they're dominating this series. It's a 2-0 lead right now, a minute left in this game number 2. In our Fennec Cup, and Not Earth looks to maybe add to this lead, gonna drop it right in front, and that's what you're looking for. A teammate sets you up, gotta make sure they don't overcommit. Drift Lemming over to Milk, who hits off the crossbar, but Strudel will end it. And I think 3 minutes or so, or 2.5 minutes at least, into overtime, and Drift Lemming giving us the great view. Looks like he trusted that goal was going in the whole time. Nearly getting one for the TikTok. That would have been a great tying goal, or I guess to get them within 1, I should say, but the Eagles will build their lead. The hats will rain down, not much cooler than that, and that feels like the goal to sort of put this game away.
Do you think they have the
Score here, you honestly probably do win it for your team. And as I say that, Strudel with 14 seconds left will sneak it in.
Yeah, when the clock's close on a tie, you've kind of entered overtime already.
One last good chance for the Eagles.